Hello.
I'm probably not going to.
How is everyone tonight? As you can see, my webcam is not communicating tonight, so you will just see my avatar, but these lovely gentlemen will all be here for you to look at tonight. So it's probably a good thing anyway that I'm not on camera. But anyway, sorry guys. How is everyone tonight? Yeah, let's get the sound right here. One sounds a little low.
Can you hear from all of us?
How's the sound, chat?
Yep,
You guys are eyes and ears here. Let me.
If you can't hear me, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I sound okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, I think I hear myself too. I think sound's probably good in the stream for everyone.
Everyone's good. Everyone hears it. I'm gonna turn it on real quick.
If you can't hear me, that's okay.
I'm gonna move chat up. Chat's a little low.
Hopefully I sound okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, I think I hear myself too. I think sound's probably good in the stream. I'm gonna turn down the sound on that
Everyone's
now.
good. Everyone hears it. I'm gonna turn it on real quick. I'm gonna move chat up. Chat's a little
Sounds all around, loud and clear.
We're good to go. All right, good. Okay.
I'm gonna turn down the sound on that now.
All right. Dead air. I love it. Okay. Thanks everyone for hanging in there tonight. Yeah, you know, you sit down the night before, you get your scripts and everything written out, you get all your overlays perfectly laid out, you're so excited, and then yeah, that things just never work out the way they're supposed to. So for some reason my camera is not conveying information tonight, even though these gentlemen can see me. Unfortunately, you guys cannot. So I'll try to turn my webcam on here. See, it's not showing. ToddtheGatr cam. That's all you see is just an orange blob. So I figured that would be better to just put that up there. How's everybody doing tonight? How's the chat doing? Everybody have a good Halloween. Get lots of candy, all that good stuff. Yeah, well, I fixed that, Zombie Pops. Steel should be good. I had the, I was adjusting his volume. Good deal. Yeah, you just don't want to see me tonight. That's the main thing, yeah. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. Okay. Hey, let's do a podcast, guys. What do you think?
Good.
Podcast sound good? All right. Okay. All right, quiet on the set. Here we go. 3, 2. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 276 of Guardian Downcast, a Destiny podcast. I'm your host, ToddtheGatr, and I'm a Day One Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. In this live episode, we have our very first guest show with our new live setup, and it's ToddtheGatr on YouTube if you want to watch the replay later on after this goes live tonight. And for those of you who may just discovered our podcast, we have a live version of our show on YouTube where you can interact with us live through the chat. We also have a replay of tonight's show, like I said, on my channel. And of course, the audio version will always be available for our podcast apps. And you can always go to our website, guardiandowncast.com, to listen to any individual episodes as well. Hope you all had a fun Halloween this week. And I have especially... Uh-oh, what happened? Someone switch? There we go. All right. Sorry. You guys are killing me, man. You guys are
I had to turn my camera
You're
off.
just
I had a problem. I don't think anybody wants to see me
man.
sneeze all over.
Just walk away. All right.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, tonight's guest has been a member in our community for over 4 months now. He's been very engaging in our Discord, and I wanted to know more about him. So he's here tonight with us. So please welcome to the show, SteelZealot. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay.
Good deal. Good deal.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We'll have a good show.
If you get
Little
bored,
nervous,
just start
but,
cutting your camera off
yeah.
and on. Todd will be just fine.
Don't touch your camera. Leave it on for 2 hours at least, please. Thank you. In this episode, we're going to hear all about SteelZealot, his life, gaming, and of course, his destiny. Also, any questions posted from our community may be weaved in here as well. Next, we'll test his Twitch reflexes in our fast fire question answer segment we call, oh yeah, it's back, the SpeedRun. We'll then catch up and see what all of us have been up to in gaming, entertainment, and life. Next, I will be very brief about some of the highlights in this week in Destiny. Then we have a topic of the week where we will all weigh in on a particular thing that's been on my mind this week, but it's probably been on a lot of people's minds. This week's topic is based on some good feedback we had in our show feedback channel of our Discord server. And if you want to be a part of that, by the way, it's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. Finally, we're going to answer any questions for the show from our Discord community, SpeakPipe or mailbag. Unfortunately, no voicemails and no emails tonight, so it'll be from our Discord community. Also, what guest episode would be complete without some music? So we'll add some of that to our Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and Apple Music as well. For our live audience, if time allows, we're going to hang out for a bit afterwards. If there's any questions, comments, or anything you all want to talk about, we'll have our After Dark version. Sorry, I'm going to steal that from the Guardian Hub. A lot to cover tonight, so if everyone's ready, God willing, let's roll. Of course.
We can say you're allowed to use the trademark because I brought it over here.
Yes. I'm
Don't
using
worry,
it.
he can pay us for it.
Used with permission from Guardian Hub. Yes. Okay. Let us get to our interview with Mr. SteelZealot. All right. Well, let me get started here. Here we go. 3, 2. Sorry, it's a little rough tonight. Mr. SteelZealot. Hey, man. Thanks for coming on the show tonight. Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let me ask you this. Where are you from and what do you do, sir?
I am a Class A CDL driver for a local beer, wine, and Red Bull distributor in the state of Idaho.
Very cool. Idaho. That's one state I've never been in. What's it like in Idaho? Give me the flyover. What am I expecting to see?
All 4 seasons. Pretty much anything that you want to do kind of outdoorsy is within an hour's drive.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a couple of lakes, the mountains, obviously. We have a ski and snowboard resort, Bogus Basin. So for winter sports, people like to float the Boise River during the summer. We get all 4 seasons. Like I said, this time of year, cold, rainy, windy. It's not fun to work in.
Man, I know our buddy Elmer Fudd lives in Wyoming, and I've heard the winds are like 40 mile an hour all the time. It's just constant wind all the time. Yeah, you guys are right next door, so it makes sense.
It can get that way.
Yeah.
I live next door in Utah.
Yeah, he does.
Love hearing that you're from Idaho. I feel like we're close enough. I've been to Idaho many times, so we'll have to talk more in the future.
Yeah. I've been to Utah, visited this man in person. Yeah, it's a pretty nice place. I definitely didn't want to leave. That's for sure. Were you married? Have kids?
Divorced, 1 child.
Okay. Boy, girl?
Girl.
Little girl?
5 years old.
Nice, man.
Oh, she's a handful.
She owns you. I know. Believe me, I got a boy and a girl. That's just the way it is. Well, tell me, sir, what was your earliest video game moment? When did you start doing this video game stuff?
Ooh. I mean, when I was a kid, we had an NES, just playing the classics. Mario, obviously with the Duck Hunt, Mario 2, 3. We had an old computer, no mouse. It was all like keyboard only. If we did play any games, it was on the 5-inch floppy disk.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are some of the earliest gaming moments that I remember.
So were you using the arrow keys? That was pretty much. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the
arrow
early days.
Keys, and I think it was strictly DOS interface.
Yeah, I remember 5.5.
You had to know your commands. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was very basic back then, and computer games were like text. You know,
Yep.
If you played Oregon Trail, it was you just read a sentence, and someone would, yeah, I remember those days.
Oregon Trail was so fun.
It
I loved
was, because you had to use your
It was.
imagination. Yeah.
Well,
You have died of
no,
dysentery.
for back then, it was pretty good graphics.
Yeah, you'd fight over the computer at school to play that shit.
What? Okay.
It was like the first time you didn't have to use
No,
your
I'm being
imagination.
dead serious.
No, okay, fine.
They would fight over the computer because you like, hey, you got your work done, you can go play on the computer.
Man.
Everybody, yeah, that's what they went to. Come
My-
on, you're older than me. You should
Well,
know that.
though.
my
In-game.
first computer moment was the TRS-80 from Radio Shack. It
I
was
thought your first moment was going to be like Stone and Chisel.
Oh my
That's what I
god!
thought you were
It's
going
gonna
to
be
say.
that kind of night. Okay, fine. No, my first home computer was remember the IBM personal computer? It was literally looked like a console, just a square box. Had a RGB, just the most basic monitor, and it was good times. But nothing beat a console back then. Consoles are king. Nice. Well, what is it? Why game, man? Why is video gaming your hobby? I mean, what is it about it that you get out of it?
Basically just for entertainment, relaxation, challenge here and there.
Right.
Get to, interact with different people. Good portion of the time. Other times,
Yeah.
Oof, I just want to play myself. I'm a big story mode gamer. I'm really big into Halo.
You're preaching to the choir, man. I hear you.
Yeah, and the bad ones, Assassin's Creed. I know how you feel about
Assassin's
those.
Creed.
Yeah, whatever. No, I kid. I tried it, man. It just wasn't my thing, man. Just didn't get into it. Is there well, let me ask you this. How did you find this game called Destiny? Now, how far back in Destiny are you a Destiny 1 day one, or are you a Taken Tot like Kingsley, or are you just strictly a Destiny 2 gamer?
It's complicated. We'll just say it's complicated.
I mean, okay, let me see if I can guess. You tried Destiny 1, you threw it away, and you came back in Destiny 2, and now you love it.
Kind of.
Okay.
It's a little more complicated than that. I wanted to be day one, being a huge Bungie fan with playing all the Halo games.
Yeah.
I heard about Destiny, and I was really excited for it. Never got around to actually getting it. That was, 2014, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2014. So, I wasn't working yet. I was still in high school. And I just had to wait around until I was a full-time working adult. Bought base game. I think that was after... I think it was after both the DLCs.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it was around release of Taken King. I ended up buying base game, never got Taken King, never got Rise of Iron. I ended up waiting, still didn't play it, had base game, never played it until the complete edition came out with all the DLCs, all the extras.
Oh, wow.
Played through that, but it wasn't until D2 had already launched. So it was after everybody had already switched from D1 to D2. I was playing through D1 and I wasn't able to do any strikes, couldn't do any raids because, it's not matchmaking. And all my coworkers were already playing Destiny 2. Got through Taken King. Couldn't get high enough level to even start Rise of Iron. And my coworkers were just like, just drop it, get into Destiny 2, play with us. Mind you, this is after Witch Queen had already launched. So finally switched to, no, it was after Lightfall. Lightfall had just dropped when I got into Destiny 2. And that was September of last year.
Okay.
And I've been playing D2 since then.
Nice. Is there any particular memory of, I was to say Destiny memory, what's the one that pops to your mind?
My first raid run, which was, I want to say 3 weeks into me playing Destiny 2. My coworkers got me in and got my first, well, they actually didn't get my first Crota run because we had set aside a day to do it. We got through, I think it was like 5 hours. We got stuck on the Ear encounter and couldn't get past the wizards. And we ended up dropping it. they finished it with somebody else without me the next day. And I think it was after that reset where they were like, well, we can run it again. And we ended up getting my first clear. I think it was like a week and a half after.
Okay. Nice.
So that's probably my most memorable moment.
It's a fun raid. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have you done other raids since, or how much raiding have you done?
Yes, I've done Garden, a couple runs of Vault of Glass, a couple runs of Deep Stone. Still haven't done Salvation's Edge, King's Fall. I'm not really thinking of any other ones. I know there's at least one more that I haven't done.
That's a great thing,
cool,
man.
but yeah, you've done a few, yeah.
Yeah, they're there. They're not going anywhere except Leviathan. Still mad at that, but oh well. So let's say Levi. What character in the game do you like the most and why?
Ooh, I would have to say Finch.
Really? Because we keep hearing about him from Eververse, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have that was the first skin for my Masquerader's mask that I got last year was the Finch one. And I kind of stuck with it through all of Festival of the Lost last year. But it's just all the little quips.
Mm-hmm.
Stay vigilant, Guardian, and just all the random stuff he says, when you're going through the Witch Queen campaign.
Nice. Okay. I haven't gotten that answer before. That's interesting. Is the NPC the same? If you were to say your favorite NPC in the tower, which would it be?
Ooh, NPC in the tower?
Yeah.
Probably say Archie.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a big dog guy.
That is an NPC, technically, yes. Okay, good. Good deal. How did you find our community, man? The Guardian Downcast community.
So I ended up getting into the lore pretty heavily. I came across the Myths and Stories podcast, and I listened to that in all its entirety, got up to date. And it was actually when they were featured on this podcast that I'd listened to that one, and I was like, okay, so, this is the other side of like Destiny podcasts.
Right.
And that's kind of what got me hooked.
Okay. What, well, I always have to ask this of all my guests. Do you do bounties?
Of course. Always.
Good man.
Bounties.
Good man.
Every day.
Quit shaking your head, Gator. Good man. That's the way to do it,
We got to
man.
play the game to do bounties.
Got to get paid, man. If you're going to play, you got to get paid. Yeah. Are you a Titan hunter or Warlock main?
Titan main.
Okay. I appreciate all three of them actually, but Titan is the one I'm not using the most right now. But how do you like the new supers and stuff? The way they've revamped a lot of the supers and stuff for the Titan. Are you finding it more enjoyable? The fact that you can take aggro now and stuff.
Haven't really been able to mess around with that. I haven't played for the last 4 weeks. Just life hit me kind of hard and just didn't feel the need to actually turn on my Xbox at all. But I was playing a little bit yesterday and got to play some today. I haven't really noticed a difference. I don't know if it's just like I haven't gotten enough time under the, time on the table, so to speak. But haven't really noticed much difference.
Okay.
But have you always kind of been Titan, or have you played other characters at all, or it's okay if you just main on one? I'm just curious.
So in D1, I stuck with one character, and it was Warlock. I enjoyed it, but it got difficult at times. In D2, I started Titan, fell in love with it, and I didn't actually start a second character until Guardian games, and I got a Warlock and a Hunter, both up to speed. And I still feel like they all have their differences, but Titan is kind of just my favorite play style as far as the gameplay.
Cool.
Well, unlike the Blueberry Lounge, we don't ask you to delete weapons out of your vault, but if you had to delete everything in your vault, what's one weapon you're just going to refuse flat out to delete that you're going to keep?
Oof. many to choose
Dim's
from.
open if you need to use Dim, that's fine.
Oh, I got my my games up right now. Let's see here. I mean, my go-to has always been Quicksilver.
Oh,
but
man. Yeah.
But I actually got a run through of the it's not Star Shield. Revision 0.
Oh, you and me, man.
Probably definitely one of my go-tos. I love pulse rifles. That heavy burst it sticks on there.
Man, that's my favorite exotic too. It's really good. Okay, so we don't ask you to delete weapons out of your vault, so thank you for answering that, honestly. If Bungie assigned you a small but versatile dev team that you have full control over, what would you work on for Destiny 2 in the future? By the way, Chad, he did not see any of these questions beforehand, so that's why there's a little pause. That's fine, man. I didn't give you a cheat sheet. Sorry.
It's all good. Honestly, I'd have to say focusing more on less of the back and forth from, oh, go talk to this person, follow projector, talk to this person, go here, do this. Like, make it more, I guess, for lack of a better term, linear when it comes to seasonal content, like Final Shape was. I loved that DLC.
Yeah, they did it right. Yeah, I love that the story just kept building on top, right? On top of previous missions. It made it really nice. I like that linear path too. That's for sure. All right, well, let's get to some signature questions here. Gentlemen, did you have any questions for him before we get to our signature questions? I have a few from the Discord I'm going to read out too, but I was just curious.
Yeah, I just have a fun little question also. Tell me about your favorite drink and or dessert.
Yes.
Drink and or dessert.
Bring that for tradition back. Thank you, Kingsley.
Yes. So we're talking drink, or we're talking like beverage
You do
choice?
both.
Your choice.
Okay. Like whatever your choice is.
Yeah. Whatever your choice, if it's an adult beverage or not, but what favorite drink and favorite dessert, if you want to mention. Yeah.
I would have to say my non-alcoholic beverage would probably be Diet Coke. Mm-hmm. I just like it. People don't like the taste of the aspartame. Me,
yeah.
I prefer it over regular Coke personally. Alcoholic beverage, pretty much craft beer. I work for a distributor, probably the best distributor in our area, because they carry a lot of my favorite brands. Ice cream.
Who is their top brewery that we can compare notes later, but in your area?
New Belgium.
Okay.
New Belgium is probably my go-to brewer, personally. Favorite ice cream, Kinder Sundae. It's cheap. You can't really find it anywhere. I mean, it's around here. It's Winco brand, and it's the only place I can get it here. So.
Okay. Yeah, we have Winco, but yeah, nice.
Well,
I just wanted to have fun with that one, Gator.
Yeah,
if we want to keep that in.
Yes, please. I like it.
Dessert.
I always love that question. And does anybody know what my favorite dessert is from the day one when I came to Guardian Hub?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forget. But let me see if I can guess. I feel like you might have been a cheesecake person also, but then now I'm second guessing it. No, okay.
Oh God.
Do you know, Chet?
You're lucky my camera's not on. I know you guys can see me.
It's oatmeal and bagels.
No, it's not. It's key lime pie. That's what I said years and years ago.
Sorry, I forgot.
Because I live in Florida. Yeah,
he's lying.
Every restaurant has to have a good key lime pie, or it's not a restaurant in Florida anyway.
Well,
okay,
but yeah, it's good.
Thank you for bringing that question in. I hope you ask that every week when we have a guest.
Oh yeah.
Tajo Trade had a question for you for Mr. Corndog. When will you go for 4 corn dogs? Now, his avatar is actually 3 corn dogs at a time in your mouth, right? If you see him in Discord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when you going for a 4th, I guess, is what Tajo Trade is saying.
I hate to break it to him. I've already tried.
Oh, it didn't work? Didn't work out?
The whole thing is I love corn dogs. Like, Bar S, Foster Farms, you can get them at Stinker, Jackson's, at the county fair. My personal favorite is the jalapeno cheddar corn dogs from Stinker Station. I had an agreement with my boss because I had already tried 2 and obviously no issue. I love corn dogs. And he was like, well, I will buy them for you if you can fit them all in your mouth. And I was like, okay, I'll try. Tried for 4, couldn't get 4. So I got 3 instead. And yeah, so that's my corn dog limit.
It's the one thing I hate about Discord is the little profile pics are so small that for the longest time, I didn't even know it was a corn dog. I thought it was something else. I don't even remember what it was, but yeah, it's crazy like that. MC Maximo had a question for you. And that's, of course, what is the obsession with corn dogs? And what is the best condiment for corn dogs?
Oh, mustard. Just classic mustard. Every once in a while, I get the need for, ketchup. But my dip of choice personally, if I'm just like making them at home, I do 2 parts ketchup, 1 parts mustard, and then like a couple little splotches, I guess, dips of like a hot sauce, like Frank's Red or Tapatio. Mixed all together. It's kind of like a spicy, tangy Heinz 57.
Nice. Okay.
About fry sauce. I'm sure you know that coming from Idaho, Utah.
Oh, no, I can't do fry sauce. Can't do mayonnaise. It's too much.
Mick Maximo. Sorry, MC. Sorry, Mick Maximo. He had a follow-up question. He says, I think it was your birthday when I saw you replaying an old game. What was the game and why did you choose that particular one? Do you remember back what it was?
Yes, it was Assassin's Creed. Every once in a while, I love the Ezio collection. So Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. Yep. Fell in love with the character, fell in love with the story. Revelations kind of has like the worst gameplay and story, I guess, of the 3, but just the way the story ends wraps it up beautifully with a bow. And yeah, so that's what I was playing. And it's a comfort game. It's something that I know how to play. I don't really have to worry about, getting all the challenges. I'm just playing it just to enjoy my time, enjoy the story.
Okay. Well, let's get to our signature questions then. The first one is, do you have any other hobbies outside of gaming? What do you like to do?
I play pool.
Oh.
I used to play pool league, played it for 6 years. Both 8 and 9 ball. The ranking system, so for 8 ball, you could get up to a ranking of 7. I was ranked a 6, and in 9 ball, you can get ranked up to a 9, and I was ranked 8.
Oh, serious player.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the friend that everybody is like, hey, let's go to the bar. Like if they want to go out.
Got a few bucks.
Go to the bar, play some pool. Let's make some money.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But given my occupation, waking up at 4 a.m, I don't really get to go out anymore.
I hear you. You work second shift?
No, just our delivery schedules.
Oh,
everybody's in it. In at 5, and then we're done when we're done.
For the stores and everything, I got you. It makes sense too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to live that life too, man. Doing something different. But dude, what's up with that gamer tag? I gotta know.
So back in the day when I got my 360, my original gamer tag was Steelers AMG 1994, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was just I was a huge Steelers fan. I don't watch much sports anymore just because life. But yeah, I got tired of the gamer tag, and I didn't want like the extra numbers at the end. So I was like, okay, started playing some Fallout, and I really got into the Brotherhood of Steel. So it's just a play on. It was my favorite sports team. I was really big into the Brotherhood of Steel. Mm-hmm. So, and obviously a zealot is someone with very, very strong beliefs and that sort of thing. So as being such diehard fan as I was at the time and liking both, it just kind of fit together. So that's where it comes from.
Okay. Next question. Do you have a motto or mantra that you live by?
It is what it is.
Is what it is.
Can't change it.
Just
Nothing
like
you can do.
Just like technical issues tonight. It is what it is, guys. Show's got to go on.
You do what it do. Yeah. It be what it be.
Nice. All right. This last question I always love because I always get a different answer every time. What is one thing about you that our community might not know about you, sir?
Oh, I basically run the female role in my relationship.
Say that again?
I cook, I clean, I do laundry.
Okay. Gotcha. I didn't understand that at first.
Around the house.
Nice. Hey, man, I do my own laundry. I clean the dishes. My wife has to scoop the dog poo up. So that's the deal we made. You have to distribute the chores. Someone's got to do it. Yeah. Respect, man. It's funny. I had a customer one time. He must have been like 70 years old. His wife passed. And he asked me, how do you turn on the washing machine? I said, excuse me, sir? He goes, yeah. Can you tell me how to turn this on? I'm like, are you serious? He didn't know how to use a washing machine. His wife had always done the laundry. So yeah, mad props, man. It's good that you do all that. And believe me, women love that you take care of stuff around the house. It's a plus.
My girlfriend loves my cooking. She's like, you cook so much better than me.
No, I can't help you there, but yeah, good deal. Well, hey, SteelZealot. Hey, brother. Thanks for sharing your life with us tonight, man.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Appreciate it.
Well, guys, that means the speed run is next. What do you think? Think he's gonna handle this one? 50. That's gonna be tough. Well,
I'll see what I can do.
We'll find out.
Good luck.
Right after this. All right. Oh my gosh. You got
funny still. I actually work for a steel company now. Oh. So
nice.
This company right here.
Nucor. I work for. I know that company. There's a branch down here somewhere.
Frostproof.
Okay.
That's the people I work with. They're nice. Same plant as us, or we're a micro mill. We're being built right now in Lexington, but we're in North Carolina. That's where we're at. But yeah, we work with the Frostproof one. Okay. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they are. They're huge.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get my list pulled up here.
And my hat's black and yellow because I'm also a Steelers fan. So
I just don't understand that. Okay, whatever.
You have like 3 teams down there to pull for.
They're really hurting.
You just pick whichever one each year.
Right now, man.
We are 6-2. What are you talking about?
They just have not been impressive this year to me. Of course,
we're 6-2.
Who's the quarterback now?
Russell Wilson.
Oh, that's right.
And he's played 2 games where he's played great.
Yeah.
How are your Jaguars doing?
I don't know.
How are your Dolphins doing?
Hey, I won last week with playing our quarterback.
I'm not talking fantasy football.
All right, whatever.
I'm not talking fantasy football. I'm talking football.
Yeah, how are they actually doing in the teams?
Not how you're doing in fantasy.
Jags are struggling.
Your teams suck.
The Jags they're missing something. I don't know what it is. They're missing something. There was a point where it looked like they actually gave up. Yeah, exactly.
Soccer.
I see all you guys.
I would love to know how me and Davis are alike.
I mean, the voices aren't the same, but you mean looks or?
No, I think he's talking about the way I'm talking. I don't know.
Well,
Soccer would have to elaborate a little bit on that.
Hey, thanks for hanging out tonight, chat. I really appreciate you guys showing up. I have my Better Call Laz. I don't know if you guys can see it. My brand new t-shirt design, Better Call Laz, Guardian Downcast. Can you guys even see it? I was wanting to show that tonight, and for some reason all my cams aren't working. So yeah, Jags are a mess. I don't know what to do with them. Anyway. Okay, let me get my list here. I think we're good. I'll just to keep things consistent, guys. I know I could give you guys the clock, but to keep it fair and consistent, I'll do the timer again. You guys can just cheer them on, and
all right.
And then we'll get into what we've been doing this week, which I got a lot to talk about there. Okay, timer, 2 minutes. All right, we are good to go. All right, little intro here, and then we'll get right into it. I'll count you down, and this will be live. So we got, I don't know, a lot of witnesses here. 50. Yeah, that's what you got to try to break. So just concentrate. You need to get up, stretch or anything? You good to go?
No.
You're good?
No, just maybe wet my whistle.
I will, I'll ask him as fast as you answer him. So, all right, here we go. Quiet on the set. 3, 2. All right. This segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of 800. I'm going to do it again. This segment is called the SpeedRun. This is where we have a database of over 800 possible questions for our guest. And SteelZealot here will have 2 minutes to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers. And at the end of the year, the guest with the most answer will win a prize and title of 2024 SpeedRun champion. The questions are custom curated by me, so no one can memorize the order, and just quickly answer what comes to mind. Tonight, I'm going to read out the questions from my list. And like I said, to keep it consistent and fair, my digital assistant here, my iPhone in other words, will help me with the timer. Deadpool 1 Merc and Sweaty Spooks are co-leaders with 50 questions answered. So what do you think, SteelZealot? You ready to do this, man?
Let's do it.
All right. Keep in mind, Sin Media is our 2023 SpeedRun champion. Figured I'd get that in there. Okay, here we go. Counting down, and I'll start the clock once you answer your first question. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Titan.
Favorite Destiny 2 weapon?
Revision 0.
Void, Solar, Arc, Stasis, or Strand?
Strand.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Right here.
Fries or onion rings?
Fries.
Controller or mouse and keyboard?
Controller.
Sidearm, fusion rifle, or shotgun?
Sidearm.
Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit?
Strike.
Are you an AMC Stubbs member?
No.
Quest or RNG?
Quest.
If you could choose, who would voice your ghost?
Zabala.
Twad or Twib? Let's say it again. Twab or Twid?
Twid.
Human, Awoken, or Exo?
Human.
AC/DC, Depeche Mode, or Coldplay?
AC/DC.
Is Scum Death your uncle?
No.
What's your favorite Destiny planet?
Europa.
Do you play racing games?
No.
Roller coaster or carousel?
Roller coaster.
What's your favorite armor or weapon mod?
Heavy finder.
What's the best sandwich?
Club sandwich.
What armor slot do you use as an exotic?
Class.
Kill Clip, Lone Wolf, or Headseeker?
Kill Clip.
Ikora, Cater, Zavala?
Cade.
TV or monitor?
TV.
What number am I thinking of?
23.
7. If you had to play one platform for the rest of your life, what is it?
Xbox.
Describe yourself in one word.
Potato.
Destiny 2 seasonal events, yes or no?
Yes.
What's the one thing you own that needs to be thrown out?
Couch.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
This one.
Best movie candy?
Popcorn.
Do you have a tattoo?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Favorite drink?
Beer.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Solo or fire team?
Solo.
Gas, electric, or diesel?
Gas.
Can you drive a stick shift?
Yes, I can.
Xbox, PC, or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Do aliens exist?
Yes.
Favorite music genre?
Rock.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Krispy Kreme or Dunkin'?
Dunkin'.
Watches or lighter?
Watches.
Iron Banner or Nightfall?
Iron Banner.
I'm going to give you one more. Okay, timer, go away. Because I bubbled a couple of them there. Caffeine, canned or mugged?
Hand.
All right, man. Not bad. That was close, man. 47 answers. That was squeak, man. You were right there.
Favorite movie candy, and I said popcorn.
That's all right.
Thinking movie
That's
treat.
all right. That's a movie treat. That counts. You said it quick. That's all that counts, man. Hey, that was fun though. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for playing along, man. I know the adrenaline's probably going now a little bit. You'll be ready for our next segment. But hey, I got a question for all you listeners and our chat out there. Do you have a great SpeedRun question for our segment? If that's a yes, join our Discord and enter them in our SpeedRun question ideas channel, and we'll add them to next year's SpeedRun. We still got a couple months left, so let's hear some good answers there. You know, they can be either yes or no, or 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. And don't forget, what's your favorite? That's the one open-ended question I love. At the end of the year, we're going to have 2 drawings, thanks to our patrons, for a $25 gift card of your choice, and you can enter up to 5 questions to go into that drawing. So let's hear them, and good luck. I say it every week, but I really do mean it. If you're enjoying what you've heard so far in our show, and you're enjoying our live episodes as well, hit that like button and subscribe for more, knowing when our show comes on and all that good stuff. And if you like what you hear, give us a rating on your YouTube or in your podcast apps out there as well. We appreciate it. All right. We're going to catch up on our week right after this. All right. And I got a lot to say this week, but I'm going to be last. I'll let everyone else talk, and then then you can go take your drink break and all that while I ramble on. Let's see here. Let me get to my part. We'll start. Kingsley, do you mind if we start with you?
That's fine.
Okay. Let me get it drawn up here.
With what? Sorry.
Catching up for the week. What you've been doing? Movies, entertainment, everything. Whatever you want to talk about, man. And that'll give SteelZealot a chance to think about what he wants to talk about. Okay. All right, here we go. I got to get a drink. All right. Here we go. 3, 2. All right. So let us catch up on what we have been doing this week. We got our interview complete. Now we know a little bit more about SteelZealot, but let's go around the horn here and just see what we've all been doing in life and gaming, entertainment, whatever you guys want to talk about. Kingsley, I'll start with you, man. What have you been doing this week?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything interesting movie or TV wise. I'm definitely looking forward to a few coming out, but I don't think watch anything notable this week. But gaming, before I get into Destiny, I've just been doing more. I've been replaying Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because that's a huge game and it's fun to go back into that. And so,
is that the biggest one? I heard it's like huge, like open world,
Odyssey
big time.
and Origins.
Valhalla. Valhalla was huge.
I don't think that's as big as the other two. I could be wrong, but
I heard it was huge.
It's really, really big. But I still will hop in Destiny a fair amount, especially because the new dungeon is fun running it with people. And this week I helped Maximo get his first clear with Allocate.
I heard what happened.
And, well, he at the beginning, and we're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. He's like, I have a good feeling I'll get Icebreaker. And then, sure enough, he got it and I got it.
Unbelievable.
So he brought the good luck.
See,
sorry, Kate did not get it.
Sorry, Kate. Sorry, Allocate. Oh, man. That's so cool, though. That makes me just want to play it now. Because as soon as I play it, I won't get the Icebreaker. So I'm trying to double jinx myself. We'll see.
Well, I mean, I have about really only 3 actual counted runs because I don't run multiple characters on this dungeon.
Right.
It's been a while since I've busted out my hunter, and I've run it more than 3 times. But if you're only gonna do one character, you've only had 3 chances so far to get it.
Right.
So pretty good luck for me too. 3rd chance, and he got it on his first. So
that's pretty dang lucky. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know what I'm going to use it for. There's so many good weapons, and it's different than how it was in D1. So you got to get shots with other weapons to get the ammo. So and I forget how freaking ugly it is. It's very ugly, both the scope and when you're ADSing in, but also just looking at the whole scope area, it's like
it's huge.
Whoa, this is ugly. But yeah, it was fun to get.
Well, congrats.
That's about it for me. Yeah.
Okay. SteelZealot, I'll go to you next, man. What have you been doing this week? It doesn't have to be Destiny. It can be whatever, man.
Working. Just working all week. Usually the first of the month, the first Tuesday of the month, they're called changeovers. Mm-hmm. It's all like the big displays and whatnot that you see in grocery stores. We go in and we change them out with different product, move displays around, that sort of thing. That kind of eats up the day. So usually if it doesn't get done on Tuesday, it gets done on Friday, which wasn't too bad today. But I've been doing that. Listening to a few, I guess they're called graphic audio stories.
Yeah, graphic audio novels, yeah.
Yeah, just small little, 6-7 episode stories.
Okay.
There was one, it's called The Edge of Sleep. I'm a big Markiplier follower. He's another YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
He recorded a show that's called The Edge of Sleep. It's based off of the graphic audio story. On Amazon Prime, got to watch that with the girlfriend, listen to the audio, which is fairly similar, but they changed a few things. Other than that, just not really doing much of anything. Cooking, being a dad.
I got you.
Staying at home.
You get those weeks, man, where you just don't have a lot of time to game. I get it, man. I've had whole weeks where I don't play. Just so much going on, man. I get it. Okay. Chet, what about you, man? What have you been doing? I think I saw you playing the new Veilguard today.
Yeah, I started playing it last night when it came out. I played it today and yesterday. I was playing WoW before that. This week, I've tried to catch up on the Penguin and the last 2 episodes of Agatha, but I ain't had a chance to sit down and watch them because I get home. I'm just been too busy to sit down. I'm 2 episodes behind on the Penguin, and I started one of them and got like 20 minutes into it, and then something came up, and I haven't gone back to it. So, other than that, just playing games and
Speaking of Agatha, on your recommendation, I started it last week. Got 2 episodes in. I really like it so far.
Really?
Oh, it gets better. It gets really good as it gets going. I like it because it's I just like the witch aspect of it. It's got a nice, I mean, I think the cast does pretty well together. So,
yeah, how are you liking Veilguard? What do you think about it so far? What little time you put into it? Because I know Skill Up was not pleased with that game.
Well, I mean, Skill Up trashed it, and I ain't heard anybody be as bad as he is to it.
Okay.
I was watching because I think Azzacross has a video out there of why he won't be playing it, and there has been some rumors going around of people who were negative about the game didn't get codes to play it early. So I'm wondering if some of these people who are putting out negative reviews are people who maybe did a pre-review of it and said something negative and they didn't give it to them, so they're just trashing the game. I mean, I was going to play it. I didn't care what the review said. Kind of like Kingsley with Star Wars Outlaws. He was going to play it. He didn't care what anybody else said. He wanted to play it just like me. I wanted to play this game. I'm loving it. I love the game is beautiful. I love the fighting. It flows very well. And so far, I'm enjoying the story. I mean, I don't see the problems that Skill Up put into it. I really don't. I want to look at him and say, can you show me on the doll, where did BioWare hurt you?
I hear you, man. So, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think he said the dialogue just wasn't thrilling, but I think what I've heard from most of the reviews out there is that it's not BioWare's, they're not back to their greatness again, but it's not bad.
Well, if you're going to take a general overall, it has actually an 84 on Metacritic, which actually is pretty good.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody trashes Andromeda that BioWare did, and I like the Andromeda. I'm so far between Mass Effect, Dragon Age, those. I've loved every game that BioWare's put out for those.
It seems like everybody's comparing BioWare to Mass Effect 2. It's like that's the norm or the standard that BioWare is compared to, it seems.
Well, I mean, Mass Effect 2 was one of their best games they ever made. So, I mean, it's going to be hard to live up to that. I mean, there's rumors of a new Mass Effect game, and we'll see, hopefully, if Veilguard does well, we'll get that.
Okay. I was just curious because that's the first review I saw was from Skill Up, and I was like, oh, wow, that's not good.
Yeah, he was kind of one of the first ones to get one out there.
Yeah.
Everything. That's why I was like, not saying I lost some respect for him, but I was just like, dude, I feel like you're being way too harsh on this thing. I listened to it. It was a 40-minute review. I listened to pretty much the whole thing except for the one part that he had spoilers, and I skipped it because he said skip to here if you don't want to hear this. So I skipped it. But yeah, I was just like, So
and see. I usually respect Skill Up's reviews because he puts a lot of production into it. In fact, his production methods inspired me on some of the stuff that I put out. Some of the things that he does in his videos, I really try to emulate. But he's very good at what he does. I don't know if he edits his own stuff anymore. I doubt it. He's got 1 million plus, subs now. It's crazy big. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, okay. We'll see what everyone else says, And he's usually with the crowd. He's usually in consensus, but this time not.
Yeah, like 99 Cap said in the chat about the user score. I looked at it earlier today because the user score started coming in, and it's low. But I went and read some of those user reviews, and they're terrible reviews. You can't even understand what half of them mean or what they're saying.
Huh.
Like there's no like make a complete sentence in your review.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
I
user
follow you.
reviews have gotten so unreliable these days.
Yeah, like Kingsley said in the chat, sometimes some people go in there just to review bomb it, to drop it, just so they can screw with the game.
I hear you.
If you like it, don't worry about the reviews. It's just like movies.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch the movie. I don't give a flying flip what the critics say. If I want to go see the movie, it could be the worst one out there. I may enjoy it just because you didn't. Doesn't mean I can't go see it because nobody else in the world likes it. You know?
Well, another thing too is AI has been intervening with some of these reviews have been AI generated too, especially on Amazon right now. And unless I see the guy use the product in the video, I can't trust these. And the
way
AI
they're worded,
it's getting better. Yeah, but the AI is getting better at emulating.
I know, but still, the way some of them are worded, sometimes these reviews, I'm reading it going, this is almost too clean to be from a person.
Yeah, you know? I hear that. It's not there yet, but it's definitely reviews are getting a little gray. That's for sure. I mean, it's all subjective, right? So, and that goes into our topic tonight, by the way. Let's see. As far as I farmed the Bygones 390 adaptive pulse rifle, and I wanted to go to you before I continue on, Kingsley. What is the latest with Weight-Gate? Because before you answer, I went to all of my farmed Bygones, and I have to tell you, the perks that I did get together were very close together on that diagram that they mentioned. Oddly, very, very accurate. So what's the latest with Bungie? I know they're going to they mentioned something briefly in the TWAB this week, but what's the TLDR?
The main thing is just more confirmation that they're working on a fix, and that it's slated to be released November 5th.
That's next week.
That's next week.
Tomorrow?
I mean, they gave a little more details, not much. They are still going to give us a bigger, I don't know if it's going to be in another twit or not, but they will give us a full write-up review on, I'm sure they're going to let us know how long this has been going on for. That's what hasn't been confirmed by Bungie yet.
Right.
But people have their suspicions.
It was oddly what people have been stating. So I was like, wow. I went back and I looked at all, I went to, what is it? The gunsmith or whatever the website is. So that shows all the perks in a row from the Bungie, interface, and they were oddly close together.
On the grenade launcher that everyone wants from the dungeon,
Liturgy,
guess who actually has that god roll? That's very hard to get right now. Kate does. So even
though
she doesn't have,
well, good for her. She plays a ton.
Even though she doesn't have the icebreaker yet, I would rather the grenade launcher myself too. Really? So I'm like jealous. But,
okay.
What's the roll you want on it? Everybody's chasing.
Bait and switch, and then cascade point or the other one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, I just wanted to ask you about that because I was looking over my rolls and a lot of them were. But now I'm going to start getting double perks. I did reset my Gambit rig like I mentioned last week, so I'm looking for that Lone Wolf closing time and Lone Wolf high ground. I think, and I did test out several roles in comp. I usually play comp with my buddy Warcry on Monday nights, and I think Slammin' popped in too and played some control with him as the night got later. And I got to tell you, man, the 390s usually are not as strong as the high impact and the heavy burst pulse rifles right now. Like you mentioned, SteelZealot with the with the exotic.
Revision 0.
Yes, thank you. I was having to go to DIM to look it up. My memory is, I got so much flooding in my head right now. But it worked really well. That sight works really good. It's really knocking people down really quick. And I got to tell you, man, I am loving the Festival of the Lost, mainly because haunted sectors they're just great for farming candy, loot, and those pages that you need. They're quick one-hit activities that work for me. I mean, I think this is why I'm going to like solo ops, Kingsley, in Frontiers for this very reason. I can just jump in for a couple quick, runs through before heading out to work in the morning, get my Destiny fill, and then I get my loot and I'm out. It's real quick. So I love that about the haunted sectors. I know you guys aren't as crazy about Festival of the Lost, but I am going to work on my event card because I want that super black shader. I just missed it in Into the Light before Final Shape came out, and I do want that shader. So I think I'm a third of the way there on most of the stuff that I've got to get done. And I'm finding that to focus spooky engrams, getting those mystery bags and the class items. I just got one for my Titan that did not run dual Destiny. That takes a lot of candy. It's very candy hungry. So it takes a while to get that candy built up. And just running those lost sectors, you can get it built up pretty quick. I'm working on I also, when you the Twilight mementos are out, they randomly drop when you're focusing or turning in spooky engrams. So far no dice for me, but I definitely want some more of those. I think you can hold 3 in your inventory now, so I'm going to try to start farming those as well. I like the new spooky wizard armor, but I'm farming with using the repeatable Festival of Lost Bounties. I'm trying to build up that bright dust. I'm a little low right now, so I bought some stuff before the new episode dropped. It's 6,000 bright dust, by the way, if you want the set for each character, or 1,500 silver. So $15 if you want the whole set without having to grind it. But I'm just doing those repeatable bounties, man. That's what I love. Getting that 10 bright dust to pop, and it takes one haunted lost sector to get a bunch of them done, usually 4 or 5 at a time. So I'm figuring that's 40 to 50 bright dust per haunted sector run. So it'll add up pretty quick. I did play Black Ops 6 Zombies this week. I am loving Zombies mode in this game because they brought back round-based. I love this classic mode. I mean, I've been playing the Liberty Square Zombies map. There's 2 in total, by the way, and I'm sure they'll add some more later as the year goes on in DLC. I played about 8 hours of it so far, probably a little more than that actually, but just getting reacquainted with all the perks. The gobble gums are retrievable. You get them free after every round, but you have limited room. I think you can hold 5 at a time. I've been playing solo only, which is my preferred way of doing zombies. A new feature that Black Ops 6 has that I so love is that you now have the ability to save your game and play later. So say you're on round 6 solo and you're farming something in the game, trying to get attachments or camos for your weapons, and you got to go to dinner. You just hit pause and you can actually save the game, and it'll bring you right back to where you left off there, which is really nice. In the past Zombies modes, you would just have to die and just start over when you get back from dinner. But now you can pause it and save it to a file. You can only save 1 file, by the way, and I think you have 30 days to play it. Otherwise it self-destructs. Another great feature of Zombies is that you can rank up all of your weapons in Zombies and then carry them over to multiplayer. This is going to be the way I play Call of Duty this year, because I do want to play the multiplayer. I did play the beta, and as a Destiny Crucible player, I actually love the multi-directional movement, the backward and forward dives and everything that it has. It just feels natural to me. And when I tried it out in the beta, I really had no problem with it having any issues with it. I'm currently working on my SWAT. It's a 3-burst marksman rifle. The AEK 973, which is also a 3-burst. The DM10 and the Sarkov 7.62. You could probably tell I like burst and DMR type weapons, because spray and pray is not really my style in Call of Duty. It's more about accuracy and headshots, but it's really good on Zombies too. I'm working on the C9 machine gun, the PP19 submachine gun. As far as ARs, the XM4, the AK-74, and I'm eyeing that AS Val because I had a great time using that gun in Battlefield 4. I also plan on ranking up the LR762, the bolt action sniper rifle, because I want to see how quick I can, quick scope people. Because the one thing I've noticed in Call of Duty, unlike the Crucible, is snipers, they give you so much room for error. I mean, all you have to do is hit a body shot with a sniper, quick scoping, and usually you can get a kill. So, I don't know. We'll see that. The one thing that I did love also is you can go through all the available banners and be able to see what you have to do to get them. It gives me more of a long-term goal while playing, and they're very animated and really beautiful to me. They put a lot of time in these banners and these emblems. It's going to be worth grinding for. You listening, Bungie? The problem I have now is that I'm playing 3 different games each week, and I have not near enough time to play all of them consistently. I'm either playing Balatro late at night, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Destiny 2. So I have that problem that a lot of you guys have now, where we have multiple games to play, and I just don't have enough time.
Well, so you don't have to do multiple accounts or characters in Destiny.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening, Kingsley. Those have been retired, at least for now.
Even multiple characters you don't have to do, you know?
Yeah, I know that. I get that. And that's another thing too about zombies is you have like 15 different characters you can play, but there's a core 6 if you want to hear the storylines. So I'm playing one of the core 6 because it has some extra stuff in there. My wife and I saw 2 new movies this week at the theater, thanks to my AMC Stubbs A-List membership. I gotta work on getting an affiliate link for that or something. My God, I plug that place so much. First, we saw the new Ralph Fiennes movie called Conclave about the internal process that takes place when a pope passes away. And you can kind of see the politics involved trying to sway the vote because it is majority vote. It becomes pope. There's 105 cardinals representing all of their respective parishes. The movie's, I gotta admit, the movie moves really slow, but the suspense does build up as more of the Pope's death comes to light, and the ultimate ending is not what I expected. And I always give props to movies that have, you know, unpredictable plot lines. So I consider it a good movie. You know, I probably had to take a few points off because it does plot along a little bit, but I give it 3.5 stars overall. Just a good movie. But I would have given it 4 if it would have just moved a little bit faster paced, but I understand the topic. You know, it did get 92% certified fresh from critics, 88% from the audience. Maybe something to look for once it's released on the streaming platforms. Not really a big action movie, but a good suspense buildup. It's really good. Okay, well, let's talk about my second movie. I saw the latest Robert Zemeckis movie called Here. Think Forrest Gump, Back to the Future. It stars Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. Their 30-year reunion from Forrest Gump, by the way, this week. Man, I was really looking forward to this one, but sadly, it is another, what do I call this? The rich director FU money and making that movie that they always wanted to make, but maybe got killed because it sucked in the past, referring to the latest Francis Ford Coppola mess of a movie, Megapolis. It just wasted my time watching that movie. It was such a clusterfuck. Oh, screw it. I'm not editing that. The premise of the movie, it's a window box movie. It's in a home where you're looking out a bay window, and up until the end, it's the only scene you'll see. I think Zemeckis wanted to show how kind of time passes and kind of give an example of the house's history and how various people and families inhabit it. My first thought when I began watching it was, do you guys remember the Carousel of Progress ride at Disney World? Do you guys ever ride that? I don't know. I think it's been discontinued now.
They had it at Disneyland also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a moving theater and the seats rotated around all these different scenes as, you know, as we progress as humans, right? Different technologies and stuff. And that's kind of how I felt watching this movie. I don't know if you remember the terrible animatronics they had in there too. It was really bad. They had those bad dad jokes and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But, I've rarely seen my wife squirm in her seat as much as she did. She was ready to get up and just walk around and leave. It was pretty bad, y'all. I felt this was a really decent Broadway show maybe, but it's not a good movie. No storyline or plot, just various scenes in different ages, all the way back to the caveman, by the way. A lot of back and forth. It kind of was a little jarring because it would go back in time, forward, back, forward. It was very jarring. It's too bad the previews look promising to me, but nope, not good. Don't waste your time on this one. 1.5 stars. It was just awful. The critics have it, by the way, as of now at 38%. So if that's any indication.
The user reviews are actually a bit higher.
A little bit, maybe for nostalgia or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's always the next movie and I didn't have to pay for it. So, other than, you know, but you know what? My wife and I went to Fuji Sushi. We had a good night of some nice, hibachi. So overall it was a good night. That's what we did for Halloween, by the way. We don't have kids, so Halloween doesn't make sense to us. We just, we find that time to go see a movie and do something together. One more thing I did want to mention, and I know RNG, you probably have a comment on this. I did get invited to play the new closed alpha of the new Destiny Rising mobile game. I will be trying it out this weekend. I know I haven't heard many good things about it so far, but I'll try it out. I'll give you my take and my experience on it. I got to make sure there's no NDA on this where I don't think there is, but I can
talk about it. Yeah.
I can talk about it.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, people were streaming it. I don't think there's no NDA.
It does have controller support. It does have 120 frames per second. So I'm probably going to max it all out because I have an iPhone 13 Max. And, I'm going to try the Bluetooth controller on it and see how that works as well. But I'll mention something in next week's show as far as that goes. So no, that's it for me. You know what? Let's see what Bungie is talking about this week. So that means it's time for This Week in Destiny. Whew. That was a mouthful. Okay. Let's look at chat real quick here. Are they just talking amongst themselves? And the biggest problem with, Veilguard. I got you. Depends over next 2 weeks. If you don't see a problem with these policies. Yes, Jimmy Rayner.
It's funny when you say you didn't pay for the movie. You paid for the movie.
I did,
you just
but
get a lot for the value.
Let's just say that all I have to do is watch 2 movies and it's paid for itself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, and I'm seeing at least 4 movies a month, at least. You guys hear the movies I do reviews on. So,
Utah prices, it's somewhere between 2 and 3 movies I'd have to see to make it worth it. Because Utah prices are pretty good for
okay.
Even it's $20 a month for the AMC A list, but a lot of our just if you do a la carte, you can still get a lot of movies down to like 7 to 10 if you go at the right time. So
and GATR uses the benefit where he can book online and get reserved seating without any. I think there's no charge for that either. Plus you get some points, right? But you have to pay for the movies.
I still can't guarantee I want to see 3 movies a month. So
yeah, I'm not going to go see enough movies to pay for A-list.
You know, when Movie Pass came out, I was one of those people who just saw every freaking movie I could.
Pass,
So now they come back and then they started saying, well, if now it's going to cost a surcharge, you got to pay like $3 in addition to the quote free movie. I was like, okay, I'm out. So yeah.
Yeah, we don't even have an AMC theater up here. Yeah.
What do you have? Regal?
We have Regal, Cinemark, and
Cinemark.
Cinemark
has something
it's a
AMC
local
stuff with Cinemark has
Megaplex. That's the other one, right? You're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Village Cinema. It's its own thing.
Megaplex might only be in Eastern Idaho. They're a Utah local, but I don't know if Boise has Megaplex also. But
I don't think so. The biggest ones are the one Cinemark, and all of our Edwards are Regal.
Yeah, and even in Utah, we only have 2 AMCs, and they're not the best theaters, but one of them happens to be close to my house, so I do often go to it. But Megaplex or Cinemark are a little bit better theaters in Utah. Now, in California, AMCs were top notch. They were like really, really good theaters, and it sounds like Florida AMCs are really good too.
They're good, but it depends. They need to get rid of the cloth seats. They need to go to full, even if it's pleather.
Oh,
they need to get away from cloth.
We have pleather in our AMCs, but they reconverted.
The ones I go to are cloth. Yeah.
The reason why I say it's not good is because it's not a stadium theater. They just reconverted an old theater, and they did make like tiered seating, but you can still tell it's like not quite as good as if they would have just done it brand new. You know,
it's It felt like a kid's locker room on this one theater. I was like, man, they got to steam clean all these. You know what it is I've gotten spoiled because not everybody goes to the movies anymore. So we'll go into like the Dolby Theater and there'll be like 5 other people in there, even on a first week showing of something. And we get spoiled because no one is around. It's like the theater is all ours. We get our own personal theater, experience and stuff. I want the sound and the big screen, but I don't want the people. I don't want the people around. That's the problem. So what they're going to have to do with theaters is they're going to have to make them like boutique. You're going to pay more to go watch a movie. If you want that experience, you're going to have all the rumble seats and the recliners and super comfy lazy boys to sit in and stuff. And you'll be far away from everyone else. There'll be less seats in the theater. And that's the way they're going to have to go for the avid moviegoers out there who, want to mess with this stuff. So anyway, there's not a whole lot to talk about in the TWAB here. I'm going to really briefly go through it here. There's really not much at all to talk about, but we'll go through it. Here we go. 3, 2. All right. This Week in Destiny for Halloween, October 31st, 2024. This Week in Destiny, we're just knee deep into the Festival of the Lost celebration. Lots of headless ones have been defeated. We've eaten a few metric tons of candy and have even run a few Grandmaster Nightfalls. That's right. They started this week to maybe help with digestion. We also have an update about our in other words, the wake 8. So how are we to jump into today's topics? First, they talk about the perk weighting issue, and I'm just building on what Kingsley has said here. I'm just going to read it verbatim, because there's not much to say. The team has continued to make progress in addressing issues impacting perk RNG. Currently, we are targeting a hotfix for November 5th, like Kingsley mentioned, as this will fix will touch code for a game-wide system. We're giving the team a bit more time to fully validate the changes needed to address this issue. In the long term, we're looking at a few options, not only to thank many of you for data crunching, but to get some weapons in your hands that had perk rolls with lower RNG chances than intended. First and foremost, we found a fitting emblem deep within our vaults that almost seemed destined for this. The emblem will represent a moment in time when many throughout the community came together to help us identify this issue. Between your data or simulations for hundreds of thousands of drops, we're all becoming conquerors of infinity. To claim your emblem, redeem the following code at bungie.net/redeem. And I'm going to give it to you guys here real quick. It's VHT6A73MM. There you go. You can enter it right now. You don't have to go to the TWAB. Additionally, we're looking for some opportunities to get fun loot in your hands at a later date. Not only will our RNG systems be fixed up, but you'll have more opportunities to snag some rolls you've been looking for. We're also looking to have a featured deep dive article from the team on this, talking through our investigation and how interesting this issue was to dig up on our side. Stay tuned for additional details. I am too. Yeah. I know you're very technically oriented, Kingsley. I'm sure you'll love this kind of stuff. I'll probably listen for the first 5 minutes and then fade out. My ADHD will probably kick right in. They did a lot of cool pumpkin carvings, and unfortunately you're going to have to go to the TWAB to see these. But man, there's some creative people out there. They're showing the pictures of all the different carved pumpkins here. Really cool. I love to see that Destiny spirit, man. It is so cool. Yeah, a lot of really good ones here. I know. You guys can't see it. They had some spooky fashion as well. They had one look like Saint 14, but a death version of them. I'm not going to try to explain it, but there's some really good pictures. Just go to TWAB and look at that. It's mainly the TWAB mainly this week has been a lot of the pumpkin carving, a lot of the spooky stuff, things like that. There is an exclusive Festival of the Lost themed emblem they're giving away. How many eyes do Hive Ghost have? 1, 2. Seems there's 3. Seems 3 is the right answer. Just look for our new emblem if you gift a sub to your favorite Destiny 2 streamer. And I believe if you sub period, it counts. On Twitch during Festival of the Lost, you'll be able to grab the Ghost and the Dark emblem. Do it now before the spooky sheets come out at night. Check out the emblem below. It does look really good. I might do this. Yeah. I might do this. They have a headless one on a t-shirt. You can go to the Bungie store to get that. It is actually a Festival of the Lost Bungie rewards. So yeah, check that out. The hurricane campaign update. The relief may be ending, but for many across the Southeast United States that were impacted by Hurricane Helene and Milton, this is just the beginning of a long journey of recovery, which is what makes the work of our humanitarian partners, Team Rubicon and Direct Relief, even more crucial, as they are in this for the long term. When attention undoubtedly fades from these devastated communities, I already feel like it's a memory, they will still be there doing the hard work day in and day out to make today a bit better than yesterday. The work is made possible in part by you and your support. The Destiny community has raised more than $350,000 throughout this campaign, funds that will go directly to our partner organizations to continue driving positive change for our communities in need. And donations through the Storm Emblem close tonight, but our Hurricane Relief t-shirt will be available until November 3rd. I last night went and bought this t-shirt because it is done really well, and it does go to the Bungie Foundation. So I jumped on it before the deadline closed. So they have a few more, another Twitch emblem you can get. It looks okay. 3 eyes. You have to, let's see, Halloween edition of the Bungie Bounty for Good, benefiting Team Rubicon and Dark Relief. This stream has already happened, so there's no reason for me to talk about it. If you were there, great. You got an emblem. If not, then don't worry about it. It's only another emblem I don't have. Great. Player support report. Hey guys, what's up with the player support report this week?
I think this one. I got it. So there's some known issues. Bungie names cannot be changed. We hope we hope to fix this as quickly as possible. The loadout and mod screens in the character. Already. Yeah, I know. I still can't get my name back to what it was. I had to put an underscore in it because they don't like the two G's together. The loadout and mod screens in the character screen are very difficult to access. If the cursor is over a weapon or armor, they can be accessed. Menu and subscreens used to change pages no longer allow inputs from a D-pad or arrow keys. The director can no longer be accessed from inside the character screen.
I noticed
the health bar. The health bar colors of major enemies have been altered, making it hard to distinguish between them and minor enemies' health bar colors. Sometimes the final boss in Vesperos does not spawn, and players are forced to wipe the encounter to start. That'd be great for a solo. You imagine trying to solo flawless and that happened to you? I would be pissed. A soft lock can occur in Vesper host when not all servitors reform with the boss after DPS ends.
I heard about that.
And the remaining servitors are inconsistent between players. Yeah. And they're investigating reports where the tonic brewing guide quest isn't updating when creating tonics.
I got
player support.
Have you guys noticed just everything seems to be running really slow right now? I mean, I pull
in the game. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, I pull up something like the new I wanted to look at the new Sparrow, and I tried to look at it and it wouldn't pop up. And then look at my other Sparrows. They were magnified so far. It's like me trying to address Windows tonight. It's like you can see like a corner of the Sparrow, like it's been enlarged too big or something. You guys encountered that?
I don't think I've gotten that either, but
that's been happening for a while.
Has it?
I mean, I've been having issues with it. If I don't actually close my game, I'm on console. I know you guys are usually PC.
Yeah, but I'm PS5.
If I don't actively close the game when I turn off my console, when I start it up the next day, it's kind of sluggish.
Wow.
But even above and beyond these issues, there's actually quite a bit of Festival of the Lost issues. They did fix the biggest one where the things were giving old weapons, but I think the quality assurance team being held back is really starting to shine through a little bit right now.
Oh yeah, it's starting to show. Yeah,
everyone.
I mean, that's all. Yeah, I mean, definitely, like Todd said the first night in the Discord, what he was getting last year's Lost Sector weapons or Festival of the Lost weapons, and I saw people saying that, and I'm like, how do you not catch this? I'm like,
yeah, they basically have no QA team. That was like the biggest layoff of all the groups. I think it was like down to hardly any. So
maybe you're right, SteelZealot. Maybe it's because I keep mine in standby mode. Maybe I just need to shut it off and just have the console reset everything. Maybe I don't know.
So but your PlayStation?
Yeah, my PlayStation. I got a PS5.
Can't you just quit the game like you?
Yeah,
like
I mean, I close the game. Yeah, I always close the game.
Quit it. I mean,
yes, I don't understand, but it seems like when I'm trying to look at something like inspect it, sometimes it won't even pop up at all.
Yeah, I had that on PC, and I quit the game every time.
I just don't. Yeah, it's just irritating. You're used to.
It's not
things
your
working.
PlayStation. It's not Steel's Xbox. It's just the game.
All right.
Yeah, I was having an issue a while back where anybody else that was actively in a fire team with me, whether it was matchmade or not, they were showing up as like invisible.
Yeah.
Like you could see their basic outline, maybe their hitbox, but you couldn't see any of their armor. Sometimes it was happening to my own weapons. I would switch weapons and I couldn't see anything.
So, I mean, and also I love it when you go and like you're in the tower and you pull up your character and all you see is the foot of your character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's if it even loads.
What happens when you lay off a lot of your quality control team? What can you do? That's just the way it goes. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Hey, he has to say it once an episode, right?
I know he does. Yeah. He does. He's our naysayer. Yeah.
Not a naysayer. I just play other
I understand. So SteelZealot, after RNG GATR painstakingly read all of those things that's wrong with Bungie right now. So what's the TLDR here?
It's broken.
Thank you, sir. That's what I was looking for. I know I'm lazy, but it's kind of a tradition. All right, we got it in. All right, I'm excited about this next part because we had a lot of back and forth in our Discord this week about a certain topic, and I'm just curious what our guest and our host think about this. So our topic of the week is coming up. All right, good deal. Good deal. Thanks, Matthew, for stopping by tonight, man. Unfortunately, I got my Better Call Laz t-shirt on tonight. I can't even show it off. I mean, I'm so bummed tonight because I had everything set up tonight and my stupid camera is just not cooperating. So, oh well, we'll get it figured out by next week. We'll have another guest on next week and hopefully I'll have this all squared away. All right, you guys ready? Anybody need to take a break? Any stretch or anything? Everybody good?
I mean, I got to use the restroom.
Before you start next, yeah, that's fine, but go ahead. Let's see if this will work.
What happened? No, you can't do that. It messes up all the...
Yep. Yeah.
It messes up all the windows. Can you take it? There you go.
No, you're good, man.
I've got to figure this out, man. This is driving me nuts. Overlays and Discord overlays and OBS just are a pain in the butt. Okay. No, we're good. We're good.
Give me a moment.
Sure. Take your time, man. So what's going on tonight, chat? How's everybody doing? Let me go to live chat here. There we go. Yeah. Growing pains, we used to be an audio only podcast and now, we're trying to do the live thing every week. And it's just learning new things. You know how it is, man. You're going to bump into technical stuff until you get it figured out. And I'm going to have it on lockdown as soon as I do, where all I have to do is press a button and start streaming. It's so annoying every week. Watch Beyond the Infinite, 2 minutes. What's that? Beyond the Infinite. Am I missing something?
No idea.
Campaign and ill campaign for what you watch it until you watch it. I don't know what you're talking about, Jimmy. Oh, cool deal. Cool deal, Iron Celt. Let me get another drink.
I'm actually trying to decide if I'm going to go back out tonight. I have some friends that are in from, some kind of acquaintances that are in from further away northern Utah. And they're all just meeting up at a bar tonight, but it's only still coming up 10 o'clock my time. I know they're going to be there till at least midnight or 1, but then I'm like, I'm tired. Do I want to go back out?
Jimmy, how do you know I didn't go to the bathroom? You can't see my camera.
Because you were talking the whole time? Oh, I guess you
could have brought
a mic with you.
Unless you're talking in the bathroom, you're still talking.
Yeah, I got a lapel mic. You guys can't tell, right? No, they can. Here's the ironic thing, is they can see me right now through my camera, but I can't see myself, and because I can't see myself, OBS can't see me.
And you see yourself. Look at your hands.
I told him all you had to do is look at his hands, look at your arms, look down.
I know.
Are you invisible to yourself?
I don't understand. I swear. I just don't get it sometimes, but no, I've been, I had a nice little bathroom break before we started the podcast. So yeah, we're in good shape. I'm keeping an eye on the clock here. We're actually right on time, man. We should go, this is kind of the pace I like to go for future shows, but with better technical stuff going on. That's for sure. I'm going to start, Kingsley. I know you had a lot to say about this. I'm going to have a little intro. Well,
I don't necessarily have a lot to say, but I do have my personal story.
Yeah. I wanted you to say that, but mainly because,
how do we want to frame it though? You'll start something with just people have been talking about, and it was an interesting topic to you, right? And then...
it was interesting. It was interesting. And, I had the hardest time coming up with a topic this week. I have a whole list of topics, and they're not Destiny topics either. They're just gaming stuff that I want to bring in future roundtable shows. But, for some reason this week, I just had the hardest time. I was just bouncing around on ideas on what to talk about this week. And then then everyone just kind of went off in the show feedback channel. I'm like, okay, let's talk about this, because it's obviously hit a nerve. And
off of one comment.
Yeah. Probably mine about Dado.
Can't rush art.
Yeah, exactly. So, no. No, I'm good, man. I'm good for the duration, I think. I will see. We have our questions from, we got a few questions for the show we're going to answer, and then we're going to add some music, and then, yeah, we'll be out tonight. So, okay. Everybody good? We'll just, you know what? I'll see where this goes. If it doesn't go anywhere, then we'll just move on. But I am curious what you guys think. All right, here we go. I'm going to go to you first, Kingsley. All right, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2. All right, for our topic of the week, we decided to bring up something that kind of created some buzz in our Discord show feedback channel this week. The conversation started with some of us giving our opinions of certain YouTube content creators and streamers out there. And some of us even mentioned things we didn't like about them. I mean, I mentioned one of my pet peeves on last week's show as well. But the conversation shifted to, is content creation considered art? Some of our members chimed in as well. And I wanted to read some of the comments that people did express. And I should have had this prepared, but I got them pinned. We're good. We had some input from members. Pins. There we go. I'm using my, let's see. First we had Dimwee spoke up, and he said that, actually we had Copilot. She spoke up first, and she said, I think a lot of times modern art takes itself entirely too seriously, and a lot of us is very meta, like my interpretation of the piece Danger Powers referenced. And Danger Powers was talking about it. He had a sculpture garden near himself that displayed a piece of modern art that looked like a turd. No meaning behind it, just a turd on a display, a pedestal, art. And she said so many pieces are created to push the boundaries of what art is or make us think about the definition of art. I find it a bit boring and a lot like scriptwriters writing shows. 99 Cap spoke up. He said, art is a byproduct of hard work. You don't just set out to make it and blam, art appears. Technical also said, at this point, art, in quotes, is just about the name attached to whatever is being presented. Basically, if somebody did the bucket thing, and that was when Hammercrasher said he saw a guy knock over a stack of buckets with dirt in them, and he called it art. He says, I'm sorry, that's not art. I don't care how many big words and psychological phrases you describe with it. It's still buckets of dirt falling over. I feel art should take some skill, and knocking over buckets of dirt or taping a banana to a wall just doesn't cut it. It's just silly. And Technical added to that and said, basically, if somebody did the bucket thing, they would have called him a lunatic. The same reason why paintings have fallen off as a big form of art. There are probably phenomenal paintings out there, but all that matters to the majority is the art community is. And Maximo said, yeah, art's subjective. I know it the second I see it. And Dimwee was very spirited on this. He had a lot to say about this, but he said, art can uplift, promote, soothe, entertain, and educate us, and is an important part of our lives. At its most profound level, it takes us from the everyday to a place of introspection and contemplation to see the bigger picture of the human condition. Just some of the things that some of our members of our Discord mentioned. But I want to go to you, Kingsley. So my question is to all of you tonight, what do you consider art? I know the answer is pretty easy as well. It's subjective. And yes, that's the obvious answer. But I want to hear what our guests and hosts think about this, and our chat as well. If they want to share their opinions, just at me in the chat so I can see your message, and we can mention some of them on the show tonight. I will, of course, have some of my opinions. What, you thought I was going to be quiet on this one? Not a chance. So I'll start out with Kingsley, and let me know, man. What do you consider art?
Yeah, well, that's a good way to frame it, because I'll kind of say what kind of I think. Of course, I'm going to go with a nuanced answer, right? I think it's a two-part definition based a little bit on the creator and a little bit on the people viewing it. And then I'm just going to give a little personal experience in my life about art and how it's changed for me over time with one personal experience. But I do like the definition that Dimwee put in, because there has to be, even though art can be very subjective, there has to be at least some general bounds, right? And some things that can give us an idea if it might be art is something that can uplift, provoke, soothe, entertain, or educate us, right? I think that is interesting, and people should remember that, because not all art is meant to be necessarily pretty pictures. It's like it can be something that's educating us or entertaining us or even provoking us, right? Now, I do think it needs to be intentional. When we talk about people like knocking something over, that's very nuanced, right? Like we all know in our business, as another example in our businesses, you and I, Gator, we can do something that takes us 2 seconds and people are like, that didn't look hard, but we have 20, 30 years of experience of doing that. So like maybe an artist knock over a bucket a certain way, he knows how to knock it over the right way to make something interesting come out. So even though we only see him doing that for 3 seconds, he may have practiced that for hours and hours and hours in the past.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Okay.
But also the second part to it is, of course, someone does have to appreciate it, and not everyone will appreciate the same things. And it can change over time also. So I think what's really kind of important is no one can tell anyone, you specifically, what art is to you, but you also can't say something is not necessarily art. You can say, I don't appreciate that. That's not art to me, but you can't objectively say that's not art to anyone. Someone may consider it art.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's just my nuanced thing. Of course, I like to be the nuanced person. Now, personal experience. I used to be pretty religious. As anyone knows, I stopped that about 4 years ago. And when we would go and just look at paintings of Christ or whatever, I never really, I didn't take to it well. I kind of had feelings of like guilt or shame or like I'm not doing enough in my life or whatever. And put that on me, whatever. Just religion and I don't mix well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after the words, like I went with my family, they were still going to church, and we went to a church art exhibit in downtown Salt Lake. I was able to appreciate it more after the fact when I just took it for what it was, when I used to hate all that art and stuff. And still, I'm not going to be like necessarily seeking out artwork of Jesus and things like that. But I was able to look at it at a different light. And it was so interesting in my life to say, like, this is actually some pretty cool artwork. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with all the connotations behind the scenes, but I was able to just look with it with a fair eye and say, hey, that's some pretty cool art. So it can change in your life is what I'm saying too. Sometimes things that don't look like art to you at a time can look like art later on in life.
Okay.
That's all I really have to say about it.
Okay, Kingsley, thank you. SteelZealot, what do you consider art, man? What's your criteria?
Basically what Kingsley just said is it may not be apparent, it may not be apparent now, but it could be, you could view it in a different light in the future. Take video games, for example. Like, people may play terrible games, or even the adverse, I should say, with the development of the graphics and different things that we can do as video games have progressed. We may see that, yes, they're getting better, but also, with the implementation of microtransactions or, DLC content, it's regressing, I should say. It's getting worse. So based on the time, you've talked about, in the past, video games, giving us back our ownership of the games instead of it being a subscription, like actually having a game, a physical game that you can play. With art in general, it may be aesthetic, but who knows who's going to view it that way. Take the Mona Lisa versus, a architectural building like the Notre Dame, for example. Like, it was just a building back then, but now it's viewed differently. It's viewed with value based on the architecture, like what went into it, the work. People talk about paintings all the time, oh, look at the brush strokes, look at, the style, the blending, this, that, and the other. Same thing goes for just art in general when it comes to gaming. Concept art. People think it looks cool. But then you have those two separate types. You see the ones that are like, okay, that looks cool. And then you see the ones that view it like, how can they do that? What skill does it take to take this concept and make it 3D and make it tangible in a shared space.
Yeah. I mean, Destiny's, I think they're one of the best at some of their environments. I mean, I use a lot of those scenes as my backdrop of all my monitors, you know? So, Chet, what's your take on this, man? You got anything to add to this?
Not really. I mean, art's going to be, like I say, art's subjective. It's what you, I mean, you like what you like. If other people don't think it's art, I mean, doesn't mean you have to get into an argument with them over it, you know, or anything. I mean, like what you like and don't apologize, you know.
Thank you, Admiral Nips. Hey,
well,
sure thing. Yeah.
I just got to that point later in my life. I'm just to the point I don't want to argue with you on some things because I just found it good. I'm like, you like it, that's fine. We go about our business. I'll like it. Don't like it, you know. That's just, I mean,
there you man. Well,
art is art. I mean, I have no problem with thinking something. So I mean, like the new game Veilguard I'm playing. This game is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the scenes, places I'm in, the cities where I'm fighting at, I mean, the backdrops is, you know, I mean, I watch anime, so I mean, if art, I could give you that. Demon Slayer, the last season of Demon Slayer that just came out, the final battle, like when they get into battles and stuff is burning and they're using powers and stuff like that. That's some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen. The way it's drawn, I love it. So I mean, you know, other people might look at it that way and not think it, but you know, to put that together and then put it together in production into a show, that's very nice to watch and see it come together.
Yeah, and it transforms you to another place too. I mean, that definitely, I think that counts. Zombie Pop said, it's definitely in the eye of the beholder. Although I think a lot of quote artists just come up with a quick, easy quote art. And that's how you get a paint turd in the town square. Okay. Yeah. You know, admittedly, I don't know crap about art. I never really cared about it, to be honest, but I have been to the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. I've been to the Museum of Modern Art and also the Native American Art Museum, which is very new. I've seen a lot of art. Plus my grandmother, rest in peace, my mom and my sister are really good artists and have been featured in the Florida Watercolor Society, their top art shows several times. And I've been to those local shows as well. I appreciate art, but I'm not like into it. You know, I don't know, but I mean, not to mention my daughter is a really good digital artist. She's really coming into her own, and she still sells stuff on Etsy all the time. So it's not like I haven't been subjective to it. The art that I really like to look at through is the historical artwork in the National Gallery, whether it's a portrait of a famous politician or leader. You can see little signs of the artist's intent with the portrait, whether it's the worried look on Lincoln's face as he's about to read the Emancipation Proclamation, or Washington's demeanor while, you know, rowing across the Potomac. Well, he wasn't rowing. There is a lot of really old artwork from very famous artists all over the world that have very inspiring depictions of battles, struggles, everyday life from the past that we can learn from that stuff, you know? My current idea of what I consider art is whether the art form persuades me to see things in the world or life differently. That is mainly, that is mainly through the art of storytelling for me these days. Storytelling is what gets me excited to see movies, and it's why my hobby, and it's my wife's hobby is also. Do you guys remember the 90s movie, American Beauty? I mentioned this in the Discord, but I wanted to re-mention it. It's an old Kevin Spacey, Annette Bening flick about a guy who is in an unhappy relationship and a marriage, who is clinging to his youth via a much younger female friend of his daughter, played by Mina Savari. Where's she been lately? Anyway, he's very delusional that he actually has a chance to turn his life around and be happy by envisioning himself having a relationship to this super young girl. Life imitates art, it seems, in his real life. Anyway, but towards the end of the movie, Spacey, as he's looking out the front window of his home, mesmerized by a simple plastic bag floating in the wind along the street, finally realizes that he has little control and how his life will turn out. And as it's exemplified in the floating bag swirling around to the whim of the breeze, jerking around in all different directions, at that very moment, a grin forms on his face with this realization, only for his life to end at that very moment. I don't want to spoil any beyond that. That movie still has an impact on my life today. And I think of that scene all the time, especially when I think that everything is flying out of control. Control is a fallacy. As humans, we all think we have all the control outside of ourselves. And that clip just reminds me of the fact that, to me, that's art. It's one of Sam Mendes's best works, in my opinion. But what about the AI argument? Is that art? To me, even though it emulates thousands of images fed to it on the internet, the finished product is actually based on what definitions I give it. Now, I don't use AI for artwork. I use real artists, but I have seen friends of mine, I mentioned Heyoka here, he creates some really crazy images that I won't see anywhere else on an image search from Google, all based on certain prompts that he has mastered. He did a gator plonker of the week image one time, and I saved it because that's one of a kind art. That's something I'll never be able to look up on the internet and find. So I consider AI art, but what do you guys think? Is AI art? Are these AI art programs? Is that considered art?
There's been tech podcasts I've listened to about this. That is a hard question to answer. I mean, I think generally you can say yes-ish, but either way, we need to have controls put in place real soon here. I mean, where we know when it's AI. Like, we don't want to be people passing off AI art and saying it's their own. Plus, we don't want to get bamboozled if, like, even AI is creating AI based on itself. You know, we need to have, like, I hate to say it, but like little watermarks or little things saying this is AI art, so we'll know. As long as we have that in place, I think it's okay for us as humans to. It's like another level of like graphic design. You know, graphic designers putting together when they create some Photoshop thing or something in Illustrator, they use computer tools to make things easier for their lives to create certain shapes and patterns. So, you know, that's not like what we've been talking about so far is like a traditional art's not just painting and stuff like that. But often when we think about it, it's like everything is like hand created, but like still you're using a brush. You're not literally using your hand. But where do you draw the line, right, to say it can't be considered art? I don't know that you have to draw that line yet, but I do think if you're doing AI, it needs to have some disclaimers that it's AI. I like AI art also. I think it's pretty cool. So I think it can be considered art. I also like one thing you said, Gator, about how for you, art is it makes you think and it's like uplifting. And I think this goes back to like different personalities again too. And like how I always talk about personalities, you know, again, in the definition, it says it can uplift, provoke, soothe, entertain, educate, whatever. For me, art doesn't really make me think or feel like uplifted. It's more like an entertainment. It's more like a visually pleasing thing. Like I love seeing all the brush strokes and it's like all these neurons and dopamines going off of my brain looking at it visually, but I'm not really like inspired or thinking about something, you know? So it's kind of different for different people.
Well, okay. So building on that, I mean, okay, AI basically takes images fed to it. I mean, a lot of artists are inspired by other artists. So isn't that kind of the same thing? I mean, in a way, but yeah, I agree. Everything should be disclosed. If you're using AI in anything, I think you have to disclose. I think you need to disclose it.
Well, yeah. And also, even if you're an artist saying you're inspired by other artists, you usually let people know about that.
That's true.
And you're not copying it enough where it looks very similar, or else you're going to get blacklisted, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with AI. AI should not be using any artist's pictures unless they agree to that in the first place. And some AI will start scouring Google and pictures and using them without their permission. So permission is one thing. And then also, I think disclaimer, anything that comes out of AI, we should know as humans that it was AI generated. But other than those two little disclaimers, I think AI is a form of art. Kind of weird, but I might change my opinion on that later.
See, that's why I talk about it. That's why I talk about it. All right, well, let's bring up. All right, let me give you another example. What about the YouTubers who do reaction videos? That was something that came up in the conversation this week. There are many content creators, in quotes, that will play a video and just sit back and watch it while streaming it as part of a video they're making, or both. To me, I like Bungie's take on this. They allow us content creators to use any of their artwork or images or anything from the game as long as we contribute 20% to the finished product. It's the 80-20 rule, right? Otherwise, they won't copyright strike you or copyright claim anything on you because you're using some of your own talent as well. My favorite at the moment is a YouTuber named Asmongold. I know he's been under a lot of fire lately. He'll pick several videos, whether it's about trends in gaming, social media, or whatever. He'll watch it along with his stream and he'll make videos from it. But I think what he does is an art form, as he will pause many parts of the video and sit there and discuss it with a very active chat. I mean, the man has 3 million followers or subs. He will create a 35 to 40 minute piece of content from an 8 to 10 minute video. And at the end of the video, he always makes you think about the topic and maybe even change your perspective that you might not have even discovered. Now, he also will give full credit to the person. He'll give full credit. He'll put their name, everything online, so he knows, where he got the video from, which is what you need to do. But the fact that he changes my perspective on an opinion or something that's actually happening, and keep in mind, it is his opinion. It's entertainment. It's not factual, and there's no way he doesn't prove it or back it up. It's just all opinion. But entertainment can be art. I mean, that's what I look into that's why I go to movies all the time, is because I'm hoping to get that story that sticks with me. Unfortunately, this week was not much of an art form for me, but what do you guys think about that? The reaction video? Because I've seen some streamers that literally play the video, say 2 words, and end the stream. And I'm like, what did I just watch there? I could have just watched this video at the creator's original spot. So how far would you go to consider that art, or do you even consider it art?
I'm saying a reaction video is not art. That's just a reaction video. I don't see where it's art.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I still wanted to say anything. I don't want to hug the spotlight, but yeah, I another definition I found, the thing about art is it doesn't have to be, but it says art is typically in a visual form, right?
Right.
And yes, even though these YouTubers are doing video on YouTube, it's mostly just we're seeing their faces. They're just talking like us. We're entertainers. I would say most people would consider that more of an entertainment definition. That's where we can get into fights and get nitpicky, is it art or not? But I think since art's typically in visual form, it doesn't have to be, but typically, and then also because it's mostly just talking and entertainment. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an art form to put together a good show, but we don't need to squabble and say like that's art necessarily. Right. If you feel good, say it's art, but I don't want to take definitions away from anyone, but yeah, I would personally just say like that's not art to me, but I'm also saying other people could consider it art.
A lot of the chat agrees with you.
Yeah.
They're saying Asmund is not art. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, entertainment, right?
Yeah.
That's an easier way to answer it.
SteelZealot, anything you want to
add? I would kind of agree. It's entertainment. It's not art. Okay. As far as what you were saying, it changes your perspective. I think that aspect of it would be considered that creators, quote unquote, art is boiled down to like the gift of gab. That is an art.
Right.
Something as simple as, being a pickpocket, that's considered an art.
That's
musicians, that's considered an art.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So
professionals of anything that not the normal person can do can be considered an art.
Okay.
But just to watch a video and talk about it, right. I personally don't see it as an art. I would see it as content. It's entertainment, a pastime.
Yeah. Well, is entertainment art? I mean, what we're doing tonight, is that art, or is this just information? Or, I mean, we're making people groan, laugh, cry, or fall asleep. We're affecting them some way, one way or another. So is what we do considered art? Is podcasting art? I mean, I guess we can just go down the rabbit hole on this, but
we could take that definition to anything.
Well,
but I love the discussion. Like, is it art? Whatever.
Well, I'm sorry. This was kind of out of left field, but I know it wasn't very Destiny related tonight. But I just started thinking about it this week, and I said, you know, I just would like to get it out there and just see what people think. And you who watch this replay, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? What do you think about our conversation? And you that are listening at the audio form, go to our Discord, discord.gg/guardingdowncast, and go to our show feedback channel and let us know. I'm really curious what people think about this. So the stream seems to disagree with my point about some of these reaction vids. And I can see that too. So, all right, we'll move on. I appreciate your input, guys.
I was going to say I had one more thing to add on that.
Go for it, Steel.
I've seen a lot of content creators, Destiny content creators, say that, this dungeon or this, that, and the other, this weapon, this armor set is basically this old armor set. Like it's like cookie cutter is the term generally used.
Right.
What are your guys' views on that? Like, I heard a lot of, this dungeon is just like this old dungeon, or this exotic mission is just like this other exotic mission, basic mechanics, that sort of thing. It's like, it's just this with a different skin on it.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too.
What do you guys think about that?
Kingsley, Chet? Anybody?
Well, I mean, I have a slightly different opinion if it's a weapon versus an activity, but
fair.
For like the weapons, when they're reskins, I feel like I'm just bored. Like, I understand why they do that, but I'm not necessarily knocking them and saying like, oh, that's horrible, but like, I'm like, it's less interest to me if they can't come up with something new. For activities, it's interesting. I can go one way or the other. And most of the time, I'm okay with it, and I appreciate it if it's a reskinned activity, as long as the flow in there is a little bit different, because then again, that just lights up all my brain waves where I just really geek out. It's like I'm seeing the same thing, but in a different light. I'm experiencing it another way. I always do prefer totally new content, but you can take rehashed content if done right and make it fun.
D.D. Headley had a great comment. He goes, it's talk show art. I feel that basically Asmongold, etc., that run chat, discuss, and I guess that's opine or opinion, are just topic segments akin to a talk show, but they can be artfully produced. That is a great point, because I consider editing art, because how I shape our conversations tonight, I'm modifying a few things. Even if I'm taking out a few ums and ahs, that's still I'm creating a different form of content than what people are hearing live tonight. And I mix transitions with it. I put intros in the show and stuff like that you probably don't hear in a live show like tonight. But yeah, that's a good point. I think how you edit stuff and I 100% agree that editing is art. Even though it sounds technical, like you're just manipulating stuff around, there's a lot of little intricacies. Thank you. That my mouth does not work tonight. But there's little things that you learn as you become a better editor. And I've had 5 years to practice, so I can get creative at times. But like I said, we could go down a rabbit hole on this. I just appreciate you guys entertaining the topic. So we'll move on. We got some questions from our Discord for the show, and we actually have one more question for SteelZealot too, and we'll do that right after we get back. Hey, you know what? I think I'm going to take my mandatory bathroom break. Jimmy Rayner, be right back.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys mind if I use the bathroom real quick? You guys can talk to the chat.
Yeah.
All right.
Get right ahead.
I'll be right back.
Talk to the chat. What if I don't want to? I'm just kidding.
I will. So Jim Rayner had a follow-up question about the bucket of dirt. So there was a music video that I saw years ago from an artist named Nigel Stanford, if I'm remembering correctly. The name of the song is called Cymatics. The video is basically like the link between science and music. It's a great music video to watch because they manipulate fire, sand, electricity with sound waves. So you may not see the kicking of the dirt as art. A lot of us may not, but it could be a matter of how the dirt is thrown, where it lands, the physics behind it. It could be science-based. It's all about perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's easy for people to say like there was like some other story about like up in the chat about on TikTok someone put a sneaker in the middle of the room and everyone's like, "Oh, that's amazing art." I feel like that's a little bit of a setup. I think they were just doing that to get reactions too. I don't think if that's truly all that happened was someone put a shoe in the middle of the room, I don't think most people are going to be impressed with that.
No.
But at the same time, I still think my other point is valid where if it was set up in a right way and there was like a story behind it and it took time even to pre-set up, even though you may see someone only do something real quick, it could be something that people talk about or think about. So I feel like sometimes we just too quickly dismiss things. And again, it's totally fine to dismiss it if you don't think it's art. But I really don't think that story is necessarily real. I mean, would all of us be like, yeah, let's go see the shoe on the floor exhibit? That was probably just like a couple people saying it, and it doesn't mean most people are thinking that's art.
All right, chat. What did he say about me?
They hate you. No, they love you, Gator.
Hey, thanks, chat, for hanging out. I know it's late.
Have you seen a picture of the tree that grew over the bicycle that was leaned against it?
Yeah. Is that real even? Sometimes I wonder, but
yeah, it's real.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But like even that, like that's natural art of just the one thing of we as humans, like we're not relevant. Nature is gonna take its course regardless. And the things that we do, the things that we leave are really meaningless. Like the only thing that really will live on is legacy. But, you know, for that legacy to live on, you have to give it life.
That's the one thing I did get out of that movie here. That is the one feeling I let you leave with is this house had so many people in it over the decades and hundreds of years that it showed 100 years of people living in this house. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? We really don't own our house. We're just buying time. You know, I mean, even if your house is paid off and you're not paying any mortgage payment or anything, when you die, I mean, I guess you can leave it to your kids, but it's never really your house. It's just like your time and while you're alive, this is where you live. Yeah. I feel like you're just, I don't know, renting everywhere you go. We're all renters in life, you know? Anyway.
Yep.
Okay. We got some questions and we'll add some music and then we'll head out for tonight, guys. Cool. Let me get everything drawn up here. I think we're good to go. Thanks guys for hanging out. I know it's late, but it is Friday night. Hopefully you guys don't have to work tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. All right, boys and girls, it's the part of our show where we get to answer questions that you send in for our show. And we had one more question for SteelZealot tonight, and it's from the original Jimmy Rayner. And it's a question for Zealot. What is your favorite weapon, exotic or legendary, in 5 points? DPS, general, in other words, ad clearance stuff, pure fun, nostalgia, and true love. Hope you got Dim open.
Oof.
Favorite weapon, exotic or legendary, in 5 different key areas. And I guess he asked this question of us in the past. It could be one weapon for each of those 5 points, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. For DPS, that's a rough one. I'd have to go with one of my go-tos, probably circular logic for DPS. What were the other categories? just for fun.
General ad clearance stuff, pure fun, nostalgia, and true love.
For fun, definitely Sweet Business. DPS, Gunshot.
Hmm.
I feel like there's two more.
Nostalgia and true love, and
nostalgia. Yeah. OG Kvastov.
Oh yeah, okay.
Still have it in my vault.
First gun we all get.
Yep.
Other than the pistol.
And reminder on the last one.
Yeah, the true love.
True love. True love. Ooh. Oh.
Don't worry, you can say it, man. You can say it. It's my true love too.
Yeah, Revision 0. Usually my go-to.
Revision 0, man. That's such a great rifle. So well done. Okay, thank you. And we got some Destiny questions from our Discord here. I want to make sure that we answered at least some of them here tonight. Let's go with this one. This is from Decrease 123. I think this is Unbound Flames, by the way. A question for the show. If you had the opportunity to create a dungeon for Destiny 2, what would your armor look like? What would your armor look like?
Since we're never going to get Wrath of the Machine back, I'm going to go with a Siva dungeon. A Siva dungeon.
Kind of like Outbreak Perfected look?
Yeah, like the Wrath of the Machine armor. I love that armor. I would love to have that back.
I have a picture of you remember the Warlock looked like a bunch of glowing plates and the light would pierce out from our little robes. That's some of my favorite armor today. Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah.
I would have picked that too. And then I was thinking when you were saying that, and then I was thinking like that or like some kind of Tron looking stuff like from the movie Tron.
Ooh, like a glow to it? Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Steel?
Like the what was it? The last big event we had.
The summer solstice?
Yeah. Like the solstice armor, is that what you're
yeah, that's good.
About?
Yeah, kind of, but like the movie Tron's like these really sleek, form-fitting, but like glowy armor.
Gotcha.
It was like
me, honestly, I would say anything so that a Titan doesn't have pointy shoulders.
Nice.
I'm not really that creative.
You don't want the drinking cups on your shoulders? The little rain catchers?
Shoulder pads?
Yeah, the rain catchers.
I mean,
I hate that stuff too.
The Nemean gauntlets that have the lions or whatever on the side, like it's just they're kind of excessive. All the ones that are just big shoulders, big shoulders, big shoulders.
Yeah, I hate that too. Like a very streamlined look. Yeah. For me, my favorite raid armor is. It's the Deepstone Crypt. You have like little microcomputers projecting from. It's very modern. You have like my helmet for my Warlock. It has like a microcomputer, like a projection coming out of it, with little stuff flashing on it and stuff. I love that look. I love futuristic, kind of like robotic, like cyborg type stuff. I like that kind of look. That's what my dungeon would have in it. They need to bring some of that stuff back.
So like Nimbus.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did you answered already, Chet? Yeah. Okay. If I forget you, chime in. Okay. I'm looking at my questions here in the Discord as well. Okay. Iron Celt Gaming had a good question here for the host, and we'll include you too, SteelZealot. What's one gaming itch that only Destiny scratches for you? Great question. Only Destiny scratches for you.
Am I going first?
Yeah, go for it. Whoever's ready.
Just the continuous content. You can get it, like you can either replay seasonal content with your different characters, or you can replay the DLCs. You can basically just do whatever you want. You have your strikes. That's probably why my biggest go-to is strikes, is because it's a mission that I can play over and over. And with the changes, it's not, yes, it is the same mission, but they have the modifiers that you can change. You can also do nightfalls, so you have the higher difficulty aspect of it. Masters, GMs. It's just, there is so much replayable content that is the same, yes, but it can be changed. You can run a different loadout. Try arc instead of stasis. Go with prismatic, and you can tweak that any which way you want.
Yeah, I'm loving prismatic. I haven't put it down. I have yet to use a single energy type super now, or loadout.
A single subclass.
A subclass, because I think, come on, man. This has to be the future of how subclasses will be. They're just going to keep, if it made sense to just keep adding more and more of the other subclasses into the prismatic, it just makes sense. So, you guys, Chet, Mike, what's the itch?
Well, it's hard for me to answer it because I feel like any way I want to answer it, I know other games have that too, but Destiny really was like kind of the first game that brought that to me. In 2000, I actually started in February 2016, but right after Taken King came out, fall 2015.
Taken Todd.
And it was the first RPG type light game for me. Destiny's not those official definitions, but leveling up weapons. Other games in the past kind of had it, but I was mostly playing just Tomb Raider or Uncharted type games that had a little bit of that, but nothing really like Destiny. And so then it built and culminated even to raiding with the group. And I know there's things like World of Warcraft or anything like that, but I think having that 6-person team is just kind of like a perfect amount. I don't necessarily want a 20 or a 200-person team like you hear about some of these stories in other games, and I don't want less than 6. That's why, dungeons are fun, but I always prefer 6-player activities in Destiny than 3. So the 6-player raids kind of have scratched that itch, and I don't really have a good equivalent to that somewhere else right now. Maybe people let me know. I know there's raid type games and even Diablo now, of course, Throne and Liberty and stuff, but I just kind of want a length of Destiny raids, 6 players-ish, nothing too intense, a regular game too, not a free-to-play game, if people know things like that. And I know WoW can probably do that, 6-player also, but Destiny's really scratched that itch so far for me.
Yeah, I know Fudd has mentioned it before when he's been on, is that those 6-man raids are something he just can't find anywhere else, and he plays a lot of different games too. So yeah, I agree, man.
So does WoW not have 6-player raids? Are they only have more
I think
or less?
They're much bigger, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they much larger?
A lot bigger.
Yeah.
I thought they had all sorts of sizes. See, I was trying to not
maybe it's just the experience maybe of the 6-man being a more personable, and
there's really just something so clean about it too.
Yeah.
I've seen other games and I feel like things can get messier easy, and of course things can get messy in Destiny raids, but if you really compare it to a lot of other games, it's pretty tight and clean compared to other games.
Chet? No itch.
What itch that brings me back to Destiny?
Well, what's the itch that you only get from Destiny versus other games? I know you play a lot of stuff too. You are kind of our multiplayer content host. There's something that Destiny, let's say, even though you may not be playing as much as you used to, is there something that in the past that just you had to play Destiny? It was just that itch you had to scratch.
But to begin with, it was the chase of armors and stuff and raids, in original Destiny. I wanted that Siva armor for all 3 characters. I loved running that raid, so I was trying to get those ornaments and stuff. Same thing with Crota King's Fall and Crota. The glowy armor stuff like that. You give me something like that to chase, and I could see an itch, like that. But the weapons and stuff, we were talking about earlier, reskinned weapons for me. I'm looking at this weapon going, you're calling this Jurassic Green, and that's the same pulse rifle that we had in vanilla Destiny, and it's you're just putting a new name on it in a different color scheme.
Yeah.
And you added some new perks to it. Okay, good for you. Next season there'll be something new to chase, and it'll, I'm just So I mean, yeah, give me something to chase it. Makes my character look good, and I'll probably go chase it.
I one thing, Destiny 2, Destiny reminded me of when I started getting back into Call of Duty Zombies is, man, it's the same old guns in Call of Duty. The same old guns. I mean, yeah, they brought in a couple new varieties over the years, but really it's the same old guns, depending on what timeline, the game takes place. I think it's the Desert Storm era with this campaign. I haven't even touched the campaign, but it's the guns, man. Destiny has so many guns, and not only so many guns, but you have all kinds of perks that you can tune to what helps you play the best. And I can't find that anywhere. I mean, with Call of Duty, it's pretty linear. You play, you get headshots, you get camos, and you get attachments to add to your weapons, but they're all the same attachments. There's no creativity there. There's no head seeker perk. It's just, there you go. Now you have a stock where your weapon's more steady when you fire it, and that's across all the weapons. So it's very, very linear in Call of Duty. And I guess, that simplifies things. I can get that, but man, the weapons, all the creativity that he put into weapons. I know, like you said, Chet, that there's some weapons that they've reskinned, and when you got like 400 weapons in the game, I mean, eventually you're going to have a few that you're going to have to reskin. Maybe you just don't have time. Or they should stop making so many. Well, or not bring out.
Easily just said what I was thinking.
Don't bring out weapons that are similar. Weapons. Yeah. I would be happy with fewer weapons if they were more unique.
Right?
So yeah. We'll answer a couple more here. Tajo Trade. What are your thoughts on each of the new Onslaught Salvation maps? Likes and dislikes about each one. Which is your favorite to play? What new Onslaught weapon are you chasing the most? Well, I'm not playing Onslaught, so I can't answer this one. I am going to start diving in. Kingsley, have you been playing Onslaught?
I mean, I've done it a little bit last couple weeks, or actually first couple weeks of the new act. I do like the new maps better than I thought I would. I kind of I go back and forth what I think about Onslaught. Again, I said my original opinion, I wasn't really happy they brought it back as the activity, this act, even though they did change it up. And they have new maps. I don't know what to think about it. I like it fine, and I don't hate it when I go in it, which is good. There's been other activities I kind of hate when I go in, but and then weapons that I'm going for, not really. I have so many good weapons. Again, really the only new thing that I want is the grenade launcher from the dungeon with the good rolls. So if there's some weapons I'm missing in Onslaught, people tell me like, oh, you got to have this weapon. But mostly what I'm looking for too is only PvE reasons, not PvP. And then maybe if something's like really good in like Nightfalls or raids, then sure, then maybe I'll grind Onslaught some more. So again, it's nuanced. I don't mind the activity, but I don't really have much of an opinion about each map. I think, okay, sorry. To answer real quick, I do like the map the most that was the old Gambit one. What was that one? What's that one called that they brought back?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
And maybe just because I've gotten that one more or picked it or whatever. But that one, I kind of can vibe with that map. So I guess that's my answer.
I mean, original Onslaught, I loved Moth Yards. That was always my favorite, mainly because you had all this room too.
That one was so spaced out.
That's what I like, though. I like having the room to be able to run if I have to. I don't want to get killed by 5 ogres at once, But, Jimmy Rayner added to this question. He says, I would like to have infinite Onslaught rounds with increasing difficulty and a leaderboard. How about you? You can only do 50, right? You cap at 50 rounds. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it goes to the discussion of everyone saying this is a wave-based, and it's still not a true wave-based thing. It does end, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not really, because I think I've gone 30, 32 rounds in zombies solo. And it gets crazy difficult, man. The bosses start running at you, spewing all kinds of stuff at you, and it just gets intense. But with a fire team of 3 really good people, 50 rounds is going to be, I think, going to be pretty easy. I mean, I've hit 50 rounds before on Into the Light when Onslaught was originally, brought to the game, and it's
even easier now. I feel like
it is
just with the way our builds are and stuff.
Yeah, we're powerful.
The regular Onslaught wave 50. Yeah, it's not that hard to get through.
Okay, I mean, it was all about Blast Furnace for me, because that's the one gun I wanted them to bring back. I swear, it's like they hear me on the show, and it's like the Bygones. I was crying about Bygones forever, and look, we have Bygones now. I love Blast Furnace, and I got some really good rolls from Onslaught and Into the Light, but I can't get into the tonics. I had such a bad week starting with the tonics, and of course, I guess I can blame Hurricane Milton on that, because Milton hit us at first week when the new episode landed. So I need to get back into the tonics, and I know I'm collecting a ton of stuff by playing Crucible and Gambit and stuff, but and I'm also getting materials from playing Haunted Lost Sectors. I love it. Keep doing that, Bungie. Keep doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's I really just haven't had a lot of time to jump into that. And the fact that they created all the content's released in 3 weeks, I just feel like there's no hurry, because we got a long way to go for this episode. I think it's what's going to be into, what is it? When does the episode end, Kingsley? Is it like 1st of January, I think?
The whole
Act 2, Act 3, and Act 2 and Act 3 as well.
Yeah, I'd have to do the math, but that sounds about right, in January sometime. Yeah.
Okay. So, and from what I hear, the tonics you really can only use in Onslaught. Is that correct? Or can you use them in Crucible and stuff like that?
You can use them wherever you want to.
Use them anywhere.
Okay. Because you can, that's right, you can get the super perks.
Yeah.
On the seasonal tree, I remember.
Gosh, I totally forgot about the tonics too. I'm just like never using them.
That's my problem. That's my problem, is I never go back and use them. So
let's go out with a non-Destiny question here. Monty Money was asking, do you plan on playing the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6? How many of us here are going to play that? I know I've been playing it, but what about you guys? Anybody here?
I've already been playing it.
You have?
I'm halfway through the campaign, and I played some multiplayer.
What's your take on the campaign so far? Good, bad?
I love it.
You love it?
Campaign's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Desert Storm, right? Desert Storm era? With George W.
George Bush and when Clinton was
at the end of Clinton,
like a senator. No. He wasn't even running for president yet in this story.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Iron Celt. I am going to pick up Onslaught. We just have so much time to play, and now I have 2 other games I'm playing. As everyone says, get ready to go out and play other games, man. So I'm doing that, as I promised I would, in starting this episode. So I will jump into it and do it. I might actually see if there's a couple people who want to jump in one night and just play a few rounds and just have fun doing it. I'll probably throw that out in the Destiny LFG or something in our Discord. Maybe some people will be on. And Iron Banner not coming until late November. I'm so bummed, because that's the one thing I do love every season. Okay. All right, let's end it there. We got a few more questions left in there. We'll save those for next week. We have another brand new guest on the show next week. But before we go, play that intro music, Fudd. I got to put that in. You got to hear Fudd's song before we add music, right? So, okay. Let me get my song pulled up. And the way we worked it here, Chad, is our hosts don't have to add songs every week if they don't want to. It's strictly if you see a song that you want to add, you have the opportunity to add. If you don't want to add anything, it's no big deal. Yep. I can move that to here. Okay. Man, my notes are all over the place tonight. I got to get this organized. It's ridiculous. All right. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Fudd. I hope you're doing well, sir. This is the final segment of our show. This is where we pick our song for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. It's a little sample of what myself and our guests and our hosts like to listen to, and we invite you to listen to it as well. Just search for Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify, and it's now on Apple Music. I'll post the links down in the show notes down below for our audio listeners. We now have 1,221 songs representing all of us and all of our past guests. It's the songs we've been picking ever since we started this podcast in July of 2019. So it's kind of a time capsule. I'll start with you, our guest, Mr. SteelZealot. What are you picking for music tonight, man?
Well, life's been a little rough recently. I've been just kind of in my feels. Decided to go with a little bit of Sleep Token.
Okay.
Song is called Euclid.
Oh, yeah, I pulled that up. That sounded good, man. Sounded really good.
Good song. Really good song.
Anybody else want to add some music before I add mine?
I mean, I have one I'm adding. I pinned it.
Okay.
It's by Cochran and Company. It's called Church. Take Me Back. I was just listening to a playlist this week while playing games, and this song came on, and it's a very religious song, but you know, it's just one of those you kind of hit me with what's been happening, some things in my life, and I like it. I can even hear it in my head right now, and just it's like one of those make your foot tap type, the beat of it, just the song. I can sing it in my head. Yeah, I love it. So I thought I'd add it to it.
All right, we get that pinned. We'll add it to our playlist this week. Well, the song I chose tonight, I've always been a fan of the Strokes. They're a very good, like, retro band, and their lead singer, Julian Casablancas, has formed another group and has a new album. It just was released on Spotify. It's called Like All Before You, and I gotta say, I like most of the songs. It's very good. Think of a futuristic version of the Strokes, and you've nailed it. The song I chose this week has been banging around in my head all week, and my wife is tired of me playing it every time we get in the car. It's called Seven Horses, and it's from Julian's band, The Voids, and that's with a Z. Check it out. It's very retro, but a modern retro. It's a cool new sound. You'll like it. So there's a little auto-tune in there as well. Good deal. All right. Well, Mr. SteelZealot, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. This is really cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Anywhere that you would like to share where people can find you out there on the interweb, sir?
Oh, people can find me just about anywhere. I don't really post much.
Okay.
Handle is same as my gamer tag on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube now, but I don't even think I have any videos on YouTube. I think that's about it.
Okay. Mr. Kingsley Mac, where can people find you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me as Kingsley Mac everywhere. And that's all I have for now.
It's not McKingsley? You fixed that part? It's not McKingsley anymore?
Well, it's Kingsley still in the game, so you can find me as that in the game. But I'm going to try to get it back to Kingsley Mac if I can. And Kingsley Mac in the Discord, that's for sure.
Nice. And he's now a mod, so watch it, guys. Watch yourself now. Watch yourself. We got RNG and Kingsley Mac on the prowl, so let's keep it aboard, guys, in the Discord. Chet, how can people find you, sir?
Pretty much in the Discords, and I mean, if you want to find me, just tag me in the Discord you're in. I'm probably in there somewhere.
Cool deal, man. Hey, I want to thank all of you who stopped out tonight to join in the conversation with us. You guys and gals, if you're out there, have been awesome, and I appreciate the feedback in chat tonight. Hopefully we've addressed your questions or comments that you had in the chat tonight. We try to keep an eye on that stuff. And, it's always a good thing just to tag me or tag one of our hosts here. They're, I believe, Kings, I probably need to make you a mod. I don't know if you're a mod in here or not. I think I've added you, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. We'll get on that. I don't know.
I'll have to look and see here. Let me.
Yeah.
I know GATR is a mod, but let me see. It's real simple. It's a one-click thing.
Yeah, I mean, no worries about it right this second.
No, I know. Yeah. But anyway, that's it, guys. That is a show for tonight. Anybody have any questions for us? Anything before we go? Kind of consider this like a little bit of an after dark.
I need to go, though, if we're done.
Yeah, you're going to head out with your friends?
My friends.
Okay,
so, yeah.
We'll just end it there then. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you in the Discord. Later, Guardians.
Good show, though. I didn't mean to cut it that quick. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, everyone's been kind of talking tonight, so I think we're good to go there. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.